Okay, I think I just trying to see where he's at. Cheers, everybody. See if we can find him here. I can see the background. He can't be too far here. So I can see his background shot. I think he might be even he might be on the next street over here. I'm not sure what street he's on. We're talking about Viva. Try to see if we can stream snipe him. Huge channel. We'll see what we can do about that. I've got his stream on to see if I can see anything. Not even sure if I'm in the right direction where he's at. Live on Travel Fun 69. Cheers, guys. Trying to see what building he is on. I can see the street in the background. Might even be on the wrong street, wrong side. Yeah, I don't see anything. We'll find him. Hey, how you doing, man? Good. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, man. All right. All right, so he's not. Where is he now? We'll definitely get. We'll get there anyway. Live Travel Fun 69. Share, like it. All right, what we got here? Live Travel Fun 69. Okay, I'm just following.
What is up, everyone? Please take a second to hit that like button. The more likes that we get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to come hang out with us and see what's going on. So hit that like button and let me know how you're doing.
The Hooligans, big ups.
You guys didn't waste no time. You guys are awesome, going over there and showing the source some love, letting them know the Hooligans are watching. What's up, Betsy? You didn't get a notification? Are you a part of the Discord? I'm sure the Thoughtbot sent out the notifications. I'm gonna send out notifications by hand here in a second. What's up, Chris?
Everybody.
What's up, Quinn Time? What's up, Eric? Did I lose a bet? What? Because I cut my hair? I want you guys to see how bald I'm getting. Can't tell if I cut my hair.
It makes sense. I see he's down this way.
What's up, Jesse? Yeah, I have Viva pulled up. I just didn't start with him because his channel, you know, gives out strikes. Not him, but YouTube watches anyone that covers his stuff.
In the chat.
Appreciate you, Chris.
I'm going to say hello to him.
What's up, Chris? Ain't seen you in a while. What's up, Nefties?
We'll say hi to him.
What's up, William?
Big YouTuber.
The Bockley's. I'm very aerodynamic. Fast as fuck, boy.
Now I knew he's on the street. Let's just go step.
What up, King of Dorks? What's up, Steven? Make sure you guys share this out. We're gonna be covering the truckers. We got some White House stuff coming up. I'm gonna keep my eye on Chicago, Minneapolis. See what else I can find.
Subscribe, all that good stuff.
What's up, Wicked Patriot?
Travel fun. Oh, nice. Sean, we got you again.
Chris, you been lurking?
I remember I've seen this before. Thank you so much. We got that.
Subscribe, guys. I'm gonna be posting the content.
What's up, 777?
When no one else is recording, I will.
What's up, 999?
Everyone, go show some love. Go subscribe.
This guy right here is the OT. He's going ham. He's going from live streamer to live streamer, promoting his channel. I just watched him do this with Viva.
So close to 10,000 views. Thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Tara Rawlings, thank you so much. We're proud of you. Proud of you all. How can I donate? To the truckers, you mean? That's
What's up, who through?
Give, Send, Go. That's where the truckers are taking. Give, Send, Go.
What's up, Rasta?
Give, Send, Go. See if we can. We're gonna meet up with.
Yeah, we got Psaki coming up at 1:45, which is about 30 minutes from now. And then Old Man Walter is supposed to do some sort of joint press conference. It'll probably be one of those situations where they let him talk for 15 seconds and then they just blue screen him. That's at 3:15.
Some donations you'd like to contribute.
Thanks, everybody.
Everything that is being collected is right here in Ottawa. And because they're not
Popular of your channel is
done,
testament of your professional, honest journalism. I salute you, sir. Thank you so much for that.
Thoughtbot just sent out the notifications on Discord.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much.
so come see me. I'll be at the volunteer sign-up table and the donation table.
What up, Donnie? What's up, Kimmy?
I love him.
What's up, James? What's up, Sherry? Keith, Frozen Island boy. Yup.
All right. Let's walk.
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Roman, for the $5 donation. I really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us on the live. What's up, Patty? What's up, Adriana?
Cheers.
Hey, thank you so much, Yasmin. You're doing an awesome job over there. What's up, Snow Possum? What's up, Hillbilly at Heart?
This Monday afternoon, we're gonna try to stream snipe Viva.
What's up, Darlene?
I kind of
Good afternoon, Crystal Clear. What's up, Psycho Kid?
that they had set up.
Pardon my accent. It sounded like I said Psycho Kid. Cycle Kid.
It's got a different angle on his camera that I can't make out. But he is
What's up, Jason?
he is on this road anyway.
Appreciate you, Alan.
News in real time. Yes, yes.
What's up, Danny? What's up, betrayed by corrupt scumbags? Thanks for being here.
Definitely news in real time.
Thank you so much, Jason Baker, for continuing the membership program for 11 months. You're officially a hooligan. American Investor, you got an H on your name. I don't know if you're trolling or what. You got the badge, though.
JeffMAC back into build, man. How you doing? Appreciate that.
Big shout out to Travel Fun. They're doing an awesome job.
Of course. Cheers, everybody. Salute, salute.
What up, Sam? What's up, Joshua?
It's a hauler down here.
Appreciate the compliment, Patty.
We'll definitely get him. We'll definitely get him.
What's up, Noel?
Let's see what's going on down here.
What's up, Salty Ragu? Getting that promotion out there. Are you on the Discord? Because you're doing a good job doing a promotion. I'd like to make you a helper hooligan on there. What's up, Susie? What's up, Danky D?
All right.
What's up, USA Topsoul? Well, I appreciate you stopping in, Who Through, on your lunch break. I was reading your guys' articles in the Discord and stuff, trying to get up to date. Where's Trudeau? Is he hiding in the metaverse now? Hanging out with Zuckerberg?
Share it out and also subscribe to the backup channel just in case you lose this one. Hear from JeffMAC, hooligans. Keep up the great work. Synth, thank you. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put this disclaimer out there, do the best I can to protect my channel so we don't get another strike and taken down. Everything you see here, read, is not real or accurate information and should not be taken as such. This is just make-believe from the mind of a hooligan. What's up, tree herder? What up, Larry?
Quite the amount of people now, even on this Monday. That's the hauler? No, I don't know if that's the hauler there.
Thank you so much, JeffMAC, for the donation. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the live. Salty Ragu, is your username the same on Discord? Because I'll hook you up with some status here when I get a second.
All right. Thanks for everybody tuned in today. Wonderful. Weather's getting a lot warmer. Definitely a lot warmer. Wonderful.
Hey, what's up, Kevin? Thanks for being here. Silver Wolf, I don't know if it actually works. I know that when I get a strike and I try to appeal it, they basically ask me what is in my description that provided my audience with information letting them know that nothing you see, hear, or read is given to you as false information or, like, you know, trying to hurt the YouTube community in any kind of way. Just trying to cover my back and keep us safe. Yeah, I appreciate you, Send.
Still, everything is fairly peaceful here. There hasn't been any, well, very much peaceful here. Hasn't been any issues, of course.
What's up, B-Dog? If you want to find my music, I'm on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. But you could also find it on YouTube. Actually, I think it's on this channel. And then I think the majority of my music is on Reverb Nation and stuff. That has all my music that I couldn't publish due to, like, not having commercial licenses for beats and stuff. Thank you so much, Jason, for the $5 donation. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the live. What's up, Kelly? What's up, Carolyn? Thank you so much, Sherry, for the $2. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Taking a walk down.
Miles, I'm not sure what you're referencing, but yeah, we're on Getter.
2100 in the chat, still live on Travel Fun 69. Thank you.
Yeah, Salty Ragu. I know you ain't looking for nothing, but I just want to show you how much I appreciate you. And you can make ringtones. Do people still like buy ringtones and stuff? You know, like when Boost Mobile was like getting really big. Do people still do that? I haven't made any ringtones, not since early 2000s. When we were all listening to like Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, you know, that leaning, snapping, crunk music. They don't even make that stuff anymore.
All the haystacks for the kids.
What's up, Tara?
Go down this road here.
Wade sporting that Dr. Evil look. I'm pulling it off, I think. I think I got this.
We're going to give him a card, of course.
What's up, High Plains Drifter? And welcome back to the chat. Thank you so much, Janet, for the $5 donation. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. All right, give me a second. I'm going to send out some notifications.
We'll have a chit chat with him after. Check it out live. Live. We are stream sniping Viva. Just having a little chit chat. No, I'm not. I've met up with him so many times. Yeah. Oh, he's always around. Don't worry. I'll point you out to him. He's a nice guy. He's fast, though. Viva in the building. He's a big YouTuber. Cheers. I'm at Travel Fun 69. Cheers. How you doing? We're watching him live as well. I'm also a follower. I got saved. You know, we have everything going on. We have
got a rig now. This
yeah.
is set up in Osmo.
It's a Christmas tree, you know.
That's fantastic.
We're live at Travel Fun 69. I'm originally from Toronto. I'm not Ottawa, so I did meet up with Ottawa. He's a wonderful guy. And yeah, so I'm just covering the ground here for the Toronto people and the rest of the world. You know, everybody needs to share it out, and it's very important to spread the message as we are the media on the ground. And I really appreciate it. So that's my channel. It was obviously never a channel that was meant to be live streamed, but it is what it is. Travel Fun 69 live on YouTube. But make sure you subscribe if you're already not subscribed to your boy Viva here, and share it out, like, because it helps the YouTube algorithm.
And I say clip and share clips above and beyond YouTube. Just so people see what's going on here.
100%, man. Awesome meeting you, and I'll definitely see you throughout the day. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the shout out, guys, and thank you so much.
American Investor, I don't know why you're like spamming everything, asking about your badge. You have a Hooligan badge. I don't know what's going on. You're gonna have to like refresh your app or something.
All right. There we go. 1 sec. Let me just type in the chat.
Deb used Zedge for free ringtones. I didn't know people were still interested in ringtones. What's up, Joe USA?
That's awesome, guys. Appreciate that.
What's up, Conservative Patriot? Thanks for being here.
Wonderful guy. All right. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
What's up, Stormy?
That's awesome. That was great.
What's up, Lefty Lucy?
I knew he was around the area.
Wade Rogers, Jeff needs a hairless cat.
That was pretty epic. Pretty cool.
Well, I've been kind of waiting to tell you guys. I may or may not have picked up a kitty a couple days ago. Might have to show him off in a little bit.
Anybody that is watching from Viva here that's got multiple screens going on.
I gotta get some paperwork and stuff before I can bring him to my house, but I may or may not have picked up a feline friend.
We got the hat off. We got some just subbed Glenn Moore. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn that notification.
What's up, Soapbox Luke? Thanks for being here.
Travel Fun 69.
What's up, Virtual Cockpit?
Big YouTuber, massive YouTuber, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He's delivering a lot of content.
What's up, Joe Inc?
He's got 30,000 people in the chat right now as we speak. 30,000 in the chat. Hey, Yasmin, can you send a screenshot if you get a moment of that? I don't know if you can rewind and get a screenshot of that, Yasmin. Send that screenshot.
Send, you got that Let's Go Brandon ringtone? That's awesome. I must be missing out on the market. I should get my music and stuff up there. And the sound bites. Your ringtone could be Old Man Walter calling Peter a stupid SOB.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's continue the walk. Eventually, we'll make that Tim Hortons. Eventually, we'll get there. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Ziggurat, for continuing the membership program for 14 months. You're officially a hooligan.
The hooligans, everybody. WMTV, we got a lot of people restreaming this out. Thank you so much, guys.
I did not look into Larry Fink. I will pull it up right now.
Thank you so much. Gotta love that horn. Danielle Sweeney in the building.
I pulled it up, Ziggurat. I'll look into him in a little bit here.
Yeah, Ronnie, that's his link. He's killing it. He is killing it.
What's up, Chrissy Cola?
Oh, nice. Machines everywhere in front of it. Okay, that's nice. That's awesome. Good to share it out.
I'm doing pretty good, Joe Inc. How are you doing?
Yeah.
What's up, Stacy? What's up, Mana?
Sub up, everyone. Jeff is covering all week. Yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%. That's great. Lots of big channels. Good to see massive big channels in here.
What's up, Train Work? Thanks for being here.
From his channel, a lot of people recognize him, of course, and he's quite busy doing some.
Yeah, Miss Jamie. He's a nice little kid. I haven't decided his name yet. We've been just calling him Hooligan. He's the new Hooligan mascot. He's like a dark gray with like really, really dark black stripes and patterns and stuff. He's really neat. When I raise cats, they get real big because I treat them like dogs. He's gonna look like a mountain lion. This could be like pit bull size. He's got real big paws.
Small YouTuber, but yeah, it's always good when you can meet some of the big boys, right? Even the other Billy Blue that's in the chat, he has 3 channels. He's got almost 400,000 subscribers too as well. He's always in the chat. You see Billy Blue. Rhea, thank you so much. Support from
Faded Operator, you're a bum, bro. That would be the best ringtone. That's a good idea. Actually, I'm gonna write that down.
At the ledge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Really much appreciated. Not necessarily very much appreciated. Of course, we got some more cans going here. Thanks, Rhea. Really much appreciated.
Chris the Heart, I don't have the cat with me. The cat's at a friend's house. I can't have cats where I live unless I can get it registered as like what do they call it, like a companion pet or whatever. So I gotta get some paperwork and stuff before I can bring it home.
Back in Toronto.
What's up, Becky? Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
What's up, Black Pill Red?
All right, let's.
We go live almost every day.
Eventually.
If you're not getting notifications from me, it's either because YouTube's being special, or they may have unsubscribed you. They've been doing that a lot to viewers, especially recently. I've had a lot of people write me telling me that they keep having to resubscribe because YouTube is unsubscribing them.
Cans. We got Kansas.
What's up, Derek?
Jerry Can Days. Have a Jerry Can Monday. That's
What's up, Willie's Lucky? Nope. Only thing new is haircut. I just cut my hair before I went live. I can still feel myself dragging the razor across my head.
Middle aged and older because like you got
great setup.
experience, you get things, but
Yeah, Yasmin, if you can.
Thank you so much, John Vickers, for continuing the membership program. You're officially a hooligan. What's up, Sass?
You can send me a screenshot of that meetup. That would be amazing. Just in case sometimes in the video. The Viva meetup, if you can.
Stormy, that's a good idea. Now I'm thinking like an EDM style song.
Thanks, everybody. And anybody that is checking my channel out from Viva, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that.
Decibel Destroyer, covering the urgent press briefing. I didn't know it was urgent, but yeah, we are going to cover the press briefing with Psaki.
Okay, maybe
About 10 minutes.
the chat there. Maybe we'll go say hi to him. Okay, I'll have a quick. I'll have a quick look. I know he's live. Maybe I didn't see him. Let me see where he's at.
Yeah, Steven. An emotional support animal. That's correct. I have to get paperwork on the cat in order to bring it to the house.
Oh yeah, he's at the. Okay, I see where he's at.
Cigarette found me on Rumble. Awesome. Thank you for following on an alternative platform. Following on the alternative platforms seems like it doesn't do much, but it's really how we're going to get past this censorship. I'm not the only one that gets strikes. I'm not the only one that gets silenced and stuff. The more that viewers get used to getting on these alternative platforms, the more you're going to see your favorite YouTuber end up on those alternative platforms. So it may feel really foreign right now, but eventually we will get away from this YouTube communism and we'll be in a better place.
Oh, he spotted. You were requesting. Did you? I don't know. You're obviously busy. Viva is down there. He was looking for you. I just met him live about 5 minutes ago. He's. I think he's walking this way. He was just.
Yeah, Jeff Downhauser. YouTube thinks I'm a naughty hooligan. They're always trying to punish me and hover over me.
He knows about you. Big. You know who Viva is? Massive channel. Yeah, he's cool.
What's up, LJ?
I can take. Let me see where he's at right now. One sec, guys. Big up, subscribe to Ottawa. Let me see where he's at. I know he can't check right now.
Thank you so much, Steven, for continuing the membership program for 5 months. You're officially a hooligan.
All right, so Viva is. He's kind of in the same location over there. I think he's kind of.
Hey, Soapbox Luke, thanks for joining us.
See if I can see it here. See if I can rewind. Oh, he's interviewing a lot of people here. Hang on. Shoot. One sec, guys. Bear with me. Text girl, thank you so much.
What's up, Douglas? What's up, 69 and drummer?
Send go. Greetings from Texas. Thank you.
Stick 'em up, punk. Jeff joined the Marines. Nah, they won't let me. I can't. I don't think I can join the military.
I think it's a go. There we go.
I'm starting to get to that age where I'm a little bit too old to join most military branches. I think the Air Force and maybe the Marines is the only one that would take my old ass.
If you want to go down there. Okay, looks like he's out.
Oh yeah, I wanted to let you guys know the shirt that I'm wearing is back on the merch store. We got shirts, hoodies, long sleeve shirts, shirts for kids, tank tops, women's clothes, leggings. We'll come out with some tumblers and stuff here in a little bit.
Just want to make sure Ottawa is going to say hi to him. Let me see it so he doesn't make a turn. I must make sure you meet him.
What's up, Robert?
Thank you, guys.
What's up, Sarah Clark? Thanks for being here.
We want,
What's up, Cody? Yeah, they let me come back on YouTube after I called them out for 3 days at customer service. They were tired of talking to me. They were like, just give this guy his stuff back. Let him go live again. I'm writing big paragraphs and quoting federal laws about civil rights and stuff. They're like, just give this guy his stuff back.
I just want Ottawa to see him.
Lisa, are you going to take your cat for a walk with your flag? If the little hooligan cat is cool with it. I've had lots of cats in my lifetime, and normally when you put a harness on a cat and try and take them for a walk, they'll just lay down on the ground, and then you're just like dragging this kitty across the street, and I'm not gonna fight him. If he wants to take the flag for a walk, he'll be with me. But then he's gonna steal the show, but that's okay.
If you already haven't, he's the #1 channel here in Ottawa, man. Cheers. We doing it, man. Cheers, Gary. That's how we do it. Warmer weather today. All right, so it looks like he's at the table. Is that the? I think that's the. That might be that table up here. Okay, he's at the barrier. Yeah, he's over here. Yeah, that's gonna be him. So you can say hello. Pretty sure that's the tent. Yeah, it's got to be the tent. Thank God for the tablet. Oh, it's tough. This arm kills me.
Stormy, put him in a backpack. It's a good idea. He'd be hanging out. He'd probably be cool with that.
Thank you so much for documenting this for us who cannot be there. Much appreciated from Canada, living in Arizona. Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers to you. Where is he here? He is somewhere very close. Looks like he's on the side over here.
I'd be all strapped up, going on a flag walk, got a cat in the backpack, got a pew-pew on the waist, got a vest on, got all kinds of crap, carrying a camera, carrying a flag, and you grow a couple of arms. Oh dang, not sure what happened. We might have to switch over to Viva. I gotta be real cautious showing Viva. He asks good questions, he does good interviews, but YouTube hates that. Alright, give me a second.
Amazing. Give me this. Nice to meet you. Well, I lost your dad. It's behind me. All right.
There you go.
Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you. Keep up the good work.
Mr. Hildebrand.
How are you?
Good news stuff. Do you want to say hi to the world?
Sure.
Okay. So tell the world who you are.
I'm Pastor Henry Hildebrand from the Church of God in Aylmer. Here we are in Ottawa, and we are beside ourselves to see what it looks like when Canadians stand up and what a true human community is like. We're excited.
Fantastic.
Yes. Thank you.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. All right. I'm gonna walk past the police officers.
How's the submarine continue today?
So okay. So how's this work? I'm recording this way. There's.
What's up, Andrew? Black Circle, he's a tactical cat. There you go. There you go. That's a good one. Jeff Scratch Fever. Oh man, we're gonna be having all that Jeffication going on again.
Now, is it part federal or?
Mana, I'm not sure the cat's name yet. I need to spend some more time with him before I can figure out a name. Right now, I've just been calling him Hooligan.
Yeah, like is it the federal government that says sub where you guys come down here, or is it province? It's a logistical nightmare.
Steven, yeah, I heard it's supposed to start March 1st. I'm waiting to see how it's gonna go.
The logistics haven't been that big of a problem, I don't think. And any incidents, anything bad that you've seen? No. Okay.
Black Circle, I'm not sure. I know Viva is. Viva's on Rumble and on YouTube. I'm not sure where else he is, but the other live streamers, I think they're fairly new to live streaming, so they're probably just on YouTube or Facebook.
All right. Love your videos. Thank you.
All right, any minute now, we're going to be switching over to Jen Psaki at the White House for a press briefing. I'm just waiting for her to get on stage, and then we'll come back to the truckers and stuff.
Okay, this is
What's up, Ed? Thanks for joining the live.
Ottawa.
Name the kitty Freedom. That's a good idea.
Well, I'm caught on other people's streams, so
You can't
hide.
There's no hiding
yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing amazing.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Appreciate it. No, your voice, I absolutely I mean, your voice is iconic.
Oh no, I wouldn't say so myself, but sure.
Now, this is the question: what do you when peace is restored and freedom is restored? What are you going to do?
To travel.
So before this started, you were your channel was.
What's up, Craig? Thanks for being here.
It's just a walking channel. I do walking videos about.
Call it Mitten McNugget. That sounds like a name a kid would name a cat. When I was younger, my little sister named our cat Polly Pocket. So for like 5 years we had a cat we called Polly Pocket.
How far from the protest are you?
About 20 minutes.
A cat named Jeff.
Ottawa walks. The check. We got Ottawa walking tours are great. His walking tours are great for Hinge. Have you heard like firsthand accounts of whether or not it was in fact like incessant residents couldn't sleep for the first 4 or 5 nights?
Well, so that's the thing. I wouldn't know because I wasn't here very late.
Yeah, that I have heard.
Okay.
Only for the first 2 nights. They came to an agreement, so the horns obviously stopped. They stopped, I'd say around like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And it kind
Salty Ragu. Corinne's already got papers.
Yeah.
That's because she is a companion pet. She's gonna send the cancel culture after me now.
Fantastic. And Ottawalks, so this is your rig.
Right.
This, by the way, this is why his videos are smoother than mine. Ottawalks is looking at my rig. I've got the jobby thing. The amazing. That's fantastic.
Oh, appreciate it. Really do appreciate
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
All right, well, this will be the end of the Ottawa.
Calville, are the truckers still running? As far as I know, they are.
Oh, yeah, he's passing by for sure.
How you guys doing? You don't mind being on camera?
That's fine.
All right, where are you?
What's up, Peter?
Maybe Marmara?
Yes.
I've never even heard that place in Canada before.
Highway 7.
Say it again.
Highway
Highway
7.
Man, I call your cat Dreads.
RNARA.
R.A.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's about 2.5 hours.
Okay, not so bad. So you're in and out for the day, or have you?
Yep. So,
And what brought you here, if I may ask the obvious question?
oh, well, you know. The others. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Valerie, for the $5 donation. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you.
And is this your first day here?
Yes.
All right. Well, so the massive party was Saturday, but
Yes, we know that.
what is your impression thus far?
I'm
awesome.
amazed. Yes.
Yeah, I love the everybody giving the support.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's
Nice to
Jimbo Psaki, 2 minutes late. Keeping an eye on what they got going on.
and lying about it and hiding it is not going to do anything to subdue it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here for family, friends, everybody.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Nice to meet you.
And you too.
Thank you.
Mother Rat. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that they declared it a state of emergency and then they started confiscating all the gas canisters.
Nice to meet you.
I seen, I think it was Viva. He was interviewing some Canadians walking around, asking them, well, they had canisters in their hand and was asking them, have they been stopped? What happens if they get caught and stuff like that? And I guess right now the vibe is if you're caught with a canister that has fuel in it, the police will charge you with a crime. I don't know if you'll necessarily be arrested right then and there, or if they confiscate your fuel from your hand, but they basically try to hurt your permanent record and probably incarcerate you. Tree herder, JeffMAC and Cheese, name the cat Cheese. No, because then everybody's gonna think my cat stinks. Then I'll be like Jimbo Psaki.
It wasn't the Inspire, but what's the? I know that.
Don't read into that too much; it'll make you gag.
It could have been the large DJI one. I don't know.
I can't remember. If anybody knows the name of the big DJI, the one that can hold a DSLR mount camera, there are, looking on the roofs, there are definite surveillance cameras
100%.
everywhere. There's one up there.
Yep.
Here, like there, maybe not there. There. You know, and if there is, if there,
totally have set up.
if there are
100%.
snipers up there, I'm not going to point at them.
Yeah.
Sir, I recognize you. How you doing?
What up, Trigger Crazy? You get charged with aiding and abetting. That's so stupid. It's illegal to carry fuel. How dumb. Pretty soon it'll be illegal to breathe air.
Visualize the graffiti here. This is how graffiti is done at the Convoy, with paper. What do they call these things?
What's up, Danny C? Happy Monday.
Bristol boards.
Yes.
Paper
yes,
Bristol
yes.
boards. Freedom. This veteran thanks you. Follow the money. Follow the signs, not the money. You cannot consent your way out of this mess.
E. Richard, they need a permit for BLM.
Open business.
From BLM. Yeah, probably. They're the only ones that get away with stuff.
Truckers are the real heroes.
What's up, Wild Turkey?
Non. Est-ce que je peux... Oh, juste montre-moi la pancarte. Ça dit non au pass. No to the vaccine pass.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that. Hold up. That is some bullshit that's going to get me in trouble. We're getting this we're going to have to switch this off. Give me a second.
Freedom-loving Canadians got your 6 good buddies, our heroes. I don't know what that means.
I wonder if Travel Fund's having some issues here.
Let me play sports again. Oh, no.
Well, there ain't much else going on. Viva's got the most going on. So you remember, this is all make-believe. Don't believe nothing you hear on the screen because I don't need any strikes on my channel. You refer to local authorities and the WHO for your information,
Freedom of choice.
I guess. That's what I'm supposed to say.
What do you got there? Hello, sir. This kid looks like an extremist.
What's up, Snooks?
Those you have a license for those Cheerios?
I appreciate you, Trigger Crazy.
You got a permit for those Cheerios?
Name the cat Bigot. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it. I did think about it.
Very much. All right. gonna walk up. Well, let's see if I can get there. I'm gonna walk up. I haven't.
Unapologetic vegan. That's right. It's all satire. It's part of that make believe, you know.
What's the other? Well, that's okay. What's that one?
Yeah, not too sure. I know there's official Parliament. I'm not too sure the other films are. I know.
Well, we're gonna take a detour. I'm gonna
Absolutely.
What up, cheeky chops?
Parliament. Look at it.
Thomas Jefferson, you might as well switch up whatever you're doing. YouTube's flagging your 1,300 emojis you're trying to put out there. Nobody can see that crap, so either have something to say or continue to be flagged by YouTube. Like you're spitting in your own face but getting mad about it. I don't understand. What's up, XRP? I'm watching the White House YouTube thing. Jembal Psaki's not on stage yet. Any minute now, we'll be switching over to Jembal Psaki.
Put some serious effort into his truck. That's a meaningful paint job on that truck.
Yeah, Sam, YouTube is super sensitive. If I get another strike, we're not going to be able to cover Viva anymore, because for some reason I get the strike and he doesn't. And I mean, good for him, but I wish it worked like that for me. Jembal Psaki. That's her name when she's not at work. Stacy, Luxter the mobster.
And the government declared
he's real mafia.
For 1 week of this protest. Well, I'm getting my. That's a laptop. Okay, that's someone's laptop. I don't know what's going on here, but let me see. Not that it's abnormal to see someone in a onesie lumberjack suit. It's just not something you see every day.
The guy's out there styling. Alright, I think travel fund's back up. Give me a second.
Cheers, everybody.
Jeb, it has something to do with what's on the screen. YouTube's never said anything to me about what goes on in the chat. It has something to do with what's on the screen. When I got that last strike, I was like, you know, we covered the White House. Are you saying the White House is lying? We covered Viva. Are you saying Viva did it? Because Viva didn't get a strike, but I did. We covered Travel 69. He didn't get a strike, but I did. So I was like, I don't know what your problem is, but you're discriminating against me. And then I started putting these blocks of quotes from federal laws and stuff. I was like, you're mistreating me, you piece of shit. And then they let me go live again. Hopefully I don't have to do that again. It'd be the second time in a week. Alright, Jembal Psaki is about to be on stage, so we're going to switch over. Hold on a second. I'm hearing a fire alarm in this building, so I'm going to have to go check on that.
Time limit because of the press avail with the Germans, so we will get to as many people as possible. I just have a couple of items for you at the top. Today, the White House Task Force on Worker Organizing and Empowerment, led by Vice President Harris as Chair and Labor as well as Chair and Labor Secretary Walsh as Vice Chair, released publicly the report it delivered to President Biden that includes nearly 70 recommendations to promote worker organizing and collective bargaining. The recommendations include ways to increase private sector workers' access to information about their existing right to join or organize a union, a hugely important issue for the president. The president accepted the recommendations, and as a follow-up, the task force will submit a second report to the president in 6 months, which will describe progress and implementation and contain additional proposals for further action. Also wanted to note that today the Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsack, will be announcing that the Partnerships for Climate Smart Commodities program, in which the Department of Agriculture will invest $1 billion in partnerships to support America's climate smart farmers, ranchers, and forest landowners. So these funds will go to projects that promote farming, ranching, and forestry practices that either remove carbon from the atmosphere or cut greenhouse gas emissions. And the investment is the latest Biden administration initiative aimed at combating climate change with a goal to cut the farm sector's greenhouse gas emissions in half by 2030 and put the United States on a path to net zero emissions by 2050. Finally, I wanted to note I have a Team USA water bottle out here today and a Team USA pin out here today. As you all know, we made a decision, the United States, not to send a diplomatic or official delegation to Beijing, given the PRC's ongoing genocide and crimes against humanity in Xinjiang and other human rights abuses. And that was a clear statement and a clear policy made by our government. But at the same time, we wanted to note Team USA has our full support. We're behind them. We're watching from home. We want to thank them and their families for everything they have sacrificed over the course of time. Lots of athletes to watch. I'll just give a plug, because I'm an Olympics-obsessed person. Nathan Chen, we're going to watch him. Chloe Kim, Michaela Schifrin, you've got lots of more chances. Anyway, we'll be rooting for our U.S. athletes, even as we made a very important statement about our concerns about Beijing's and the Chinese human rights abuses. With that, let's go ahead. Colleen, kick us off.
Okay, so regarding Dr. Lander, I wondered if he should have been reprimanded more strongly given the president's pledge on his first day in office to, fire anybody who mistreated their employees.
Well, let me just give you an overview of what we have done to date, and I know there may be more questions on this, of course, which we welcome. The President has been crystal clear with all of us about his high expectations of how he and his staff should be creating a respectful work environment. One of the steps we took early on in the administration was to institute a safe and respectful workplace policy across the executive office of the president, something that was done early on. It was because of this policy and this process that when the complaint was filed, a full and thorough investigation was conducted pursuant to that policy. In addition, following the conclusion of the thorough investigation into these actions, senior White House officials conveyed directly to Dr. Lander that his behavior was inappropriate and the corrective actions that were needed, which the White House will monitor for compliance moving forward. I'd also note that Dr. Lander also sent a message to his staff outlining some of the steps he's intending to take to build a respectful work environment, and certainly we would encourage those. And again, the senior team will be watching for compliance to these steps.
It looks like he's had a history of, possible mistreatment of his employees over a long period of time. How can you be sure that this reprimand will stick?
Well, I would just reiterate again that, let me start with the first part of your question. Each nominee undergoes a thorough vetting process as a part of their nomination and confirmation process. And of course, we look carefully to ensure each candidate's suitability for the role they're chosen for. Dr. Lander's record was thoroughly examined as a part of his confirmation, and he received bipartisan support, including final confirmation with a voice vote. But again, once we were made aware of the complaint, we launched a thorough investigation, and compliance with the recommendations will be required in this regard.
Thanks, Jen. On Ukraine, Zelensky's office said yesterday that a diplomatic solution seems much more likely than war. And then we saw Jake Sullivan say yesterday that an invasion could come at any day. Can you help us square the difference here and why there still seems to be such a stark difference in assessing the threat?
Well, what our national security advisor also conveyed during some interviews with a range of your networks yesterday was that we're pursuing a two-track approach, which includes deterrence and diplomacy, but that we are ready either way for whatever decision President Putin might make. And we don't have a new assessment of his decision and where he stands on it. We also need to be prepared. Being prepared is exactly what we can do from the U.S. government in coordination and in partnership with our NATO allies, our partners in Eastern Europe, and of course the Ukrainians. And that is what we're focused on. So we don't actually see it as a conflict.
Is Kiev wrong then on this?
In terms of the preparations,
The
or
diplomatic solution being more likely than war? It seems hard to square that with Sullivan saying that an invasion could come at any day.
well, I think we certainly would prefer a diplomatic solution. I think that's everybody's preference and everybody's hope. But again, this is remains up to President Putin to make a decision about which path he is going to take. We don't have an assessment of that. So what our focus is on is preparing for a range of contingencies, including in coordination with the Ukrainians, making sure they have the supplies they need, the humanitarian assistance they need, the security assistance they need, and we're doing that. We're doing that consistently, even while we are closely watching the buildup of troops on the border.
Switch topics, if I may. Delta's CEO is asking for the administration's help in creating this no-fly list for unruly passengers. Is that something the administration supports?
I have not had a chance to talk to our team about that. I can see if there's any opinion on that from here.
Okay, and quickly, a housekeeping thing. Do you have a sense of when the president will start meeting with SCOTUS candidates? And if any of these meetings happen in Delaware, where there are not visitor logs, does the White House pledge to disclose that those meetings took place?
Well, I think at this point, I don't have any more details about the process to outline for you. As you know, what the president's been focused on over the course of the last several days is reviewing and consulting with internal team members on a group of qualified nominees. He also has been engaging, as you all know, with Democrats and Republicans and consulting closely as a part of the advice and consent part of the role of picking a nominee to move forward. After last week's meeting with Chairman Dermott and Ranking Member Grassley, the President and Vice President and their senior teams, including White House Counsel Dana Remus, have also spoken with a range of additional members of Congress and outside legal experts, and that engagement will continue. There is, of course, a vetting process that takes place. We have not outlined that in detail from here, and of course we will venture to be as transparent as possible, even as we are working to protect the process as the President's making his decision. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. With the meeting today between the President and the German Chancellor, does the President view Germany as a reliable partner on this issue when it comes to troop movements or sending weapons to Ukraine or talking publicly about sanctions? They've been much less aggressive than other NATO allies.
Well, I'd also note that Germany is the second largest donor to Ukraine and Europe. The President has also noted, as we have noted, that different countries make different contributions. I think that the Chancellor also did an interview with the Washington Post this morning where he spoke to that in more detail. We have a close, abiding, important relationship with the Germans. That includes having forces stationed in Germany, which has a huge strategic value to the United States. So today is an opportunity for the President to build on the relationship with the Chancellor, to continue to build on the long and abiding relationship with the Germans, and we are united in our view of the actions, the potential actions of Russian leaders, and united in our efforts to hold them accountable.
What's your understanding about where the Chancellor stands right now when it comes to including Nord Stream 2 in potential sanctions if Russia invades? They've really danced around that issue and haven't given a clear answer about whether they would in fact be willing to put that pipeline on hold.
If she knew how to give a clear answer, she wouldn't be press secretary.
himself, and I, of course, don't speak for him, but what I can reiterate here is that we said we'd work with Germany to ensure that Nord Stream 2 does not move forward should Russia invade, and that remains the position, agreed position.
Emmanuel Macron's meeting with President Putin today, and Chancellor Scholz will be meeting with him in the coming weeks. So has President Biden asked either of them to deliver a message to Putin when they meet with him?
Well, I think it's important to remember that there are a range of different diplomatic talks happening at the same time through different formats. Some are leader to leader, some are through NATO, some are through the OSCE, and this is reflective of that, these conversations that are happening. As you know, the president spoke with President Macron yesterday, and of course that close discussion and coordination with a range of leaders is part of how we're approaching this. But this is multi-layered diplomacy at work here, so and we are also directly in touch with the Russians ourselves, so I wouldn't look at it through that prism.
Go ahead. Thanks, Jen. You guys said in the background call that part of the discussion with Germany today was about continuing to prepare this robust sanctions package, but we've been talking about sanctions for months. So if Germany is as aligned with its allies as you all are conveying, why isn't this sanctions package already complete? Why isn't that done already? Figuring out what it looks like.
Our internal sanctions package, or what sanctions package?
Because you've said consistently that the sanctions that you're preparing are in close consultation with allies, including Germany, and that conversation is, obviously happening again today, as we're getting warnings that Russia could, at any moment, take significant action. So the discussion about sanctions has been over the course of several months. Mm-hmm. Why isn't it done yet? If Germany is as on board with the rest of the NATO alliance as they're projecting to be?
Sure. Well, Jackie, I mean, as we've said before, one, I think there is alignment that we will work with Germany to ensure that Nord Stream 2 does not move forward, which is obviously a key point of discussion. I'd also note and reiterate that it's not operational at this time. There's no oil flowing through the pipeline. That has been a key point of discussion, and that is agreed to. I would also reiterate what we've said in here in the past is that we have our own sanctions package prepared, which we've been consulting with and briefing members of Congress on, and others do, and we're united in the effort to put forward an economic sanctions package that has significant consequences. As our European partners, it doesn't mean it's identical. So,
one point to clarify, you said that is agreed to on Nord Stream 2. Just want to clarify, are you saying that the Germans have committed not to bring Nord Stream 2 online if Russia invades?
Well, again, I'm not going to get into the private diplomatic conversations, but we have said a number of times that if they invade, it will not move forward.
And then I wanted to ask about Dr. Lander again. I know you got a question on this earlier, but does the fact that Dr. Lander has a job still cheapen the president's promise to fire anyone who treats colleagues with disrespect on the spot?
Well, again, I would just reiterate that the president takes his commitment to having a respectful work environment incredibly seriously, and it's something that he conveys clearly to all of us on a regular basis. That is why we put in place a safe and respectful workplace policy, which is the process through which this thorough investigation proceeded through, and the process through which, again, that there was an internal investigation. Dr. Lander, obviously, his behavior was inappropriate and corrective actions needed to be taken, and that was clearly conveyed through this process. And he will be held to account for delivering on that.
And real quick, one third topic. We've got announcements that in Delaware and New Jersey, the governors are going to be ending mask mandates coming up pretty soon. What is the White House view on these kinds of announcements, given that in Virginia, Governor Youngkin faced a lot of pushback from Democrats for making similar changes to the mask policy?
Well, they weren't actually that similar, because what happened here in New Jersey and a couple of other states you mentioned is that they pulled back the requirement. They didn't make it more difficult for schools, school administrators, local officials to keep requirements that they made a determination would keep their schools safe. Go ahead.
Do you expect that President Macron and President Biden will have a follow-up conversation so that he can relay any sort sort of impressions that he got from his face-to-face meeting, and would you commit to letting us know if that conversation happens?
We certainly would. On the latter, I would say that, as you know, the president spoke with President Macron just yesterday. Again, there's multi layers of diplomacy happening at many times. Sometimes those readouts happen at the Secretary of State level or National Security Advisor, but I can assure you we are in close contact with the French, of course, the Germans, and all of our NATO partners and allies.
At the Pentagon, John Kirby has talked about the possibility of additional U.S. forces being moved to Europe. Has the president requested any additional recommendations from Secretary Austin? Is he reviewing any other plans along those lines?
I would just say that we are in constant contact, of course, with the Defense Department, but also with our NATO partners about what their needs are. So I don't have anything to predict for you other than to reiterate what was said last week, which is that we leave the door open to that possibility.
So that's an active possibility at this point?
It always has been. And I would remind everyone that there are thousands of troops that are in Eastern European countries as a part of our NATO alliance. So this is to bolster up the troops that are already there. Go ahead.
Back on the mask mandate question in New Jersey and other states, the CDC is still recommending universal masking in schools.
That's correct, and that still remains our recommendation.
So are you pleased with and fine with the New Jersey governor's decision?
Again, our advice to every school district is to abide by public health guidelines. It continues to be at this point that the CDC is advising that masks can delay, reduce transmission. There are also a number of other mitigation measures that we've put in place, but that continues to be CDC guidance. It's always been up to local school districts to determine how they implement.
What does it say then that a governor like Phil Murphy, who's been so closely aligned with the policies of this administration, would get ahead of the medical experts and say, never mind what they say, school districts, you decide?
Well, it's always been up to school districts. That's always been our point of view and always been our policy from here. And our policy from the federal government is to continue to advise everybody to abide by public health guidelines.
Do you think it signals that perhaps the public believes it's time for a change in the federal guidelines, the CDC's guidance?
Well, we certainly understand and have seen in polling that the public is tired of COVID. We understand that. So are we. And there has been some good signs recently where there has been a decrease in hospitalizations around the country. And again, we're in constant touch about what it looks like moving forward. But our responsibility as the federal government is to rely on the data and the science that is being analyzed by our public health experts, and we'll continue to rely on that for what recommendations we're making. Go ahead.
Yeah, a couple things. So we reported that U.S. officials are losing patience with the Chinese in these negotiations about them fulfilling their purchase commitments under the Phase 1 trade deal signed by Donald Trump. What is the perspective from the White House in terms of what can you do, and does the president intend to weigh in on this issue?
Well, it's a good question, Andrea. I mean, as you know, they did not abide by their purchase agreements. We know that. Factually, we've seen that. This is really under the purview of the USTR and our trade representative, Catherine Tai. We remain in close touch with her about that, but I would really point you to them for any updates on the process.
Okay, and then this situation in the Canadian, or in Ottawa, the truckers' protest, there does seem to be evidence that these truckers are getting support from conservative forces or right-wing forces in the U.S. Are you investigating that at all? Is there any kind of involvement of U.S. authorities in looking at those money flows going to these truckers, and are you concerned about it?
Well, I would say a couple of things. This doesn't answer your question, but I just want to get this out there too on this particular topic, and then I'll come around, I promise. We have been engaged since the outset. Well, some of it hopefully answers your question, I should say, of the protests. There have been zero impacts to Cbp Operations, which is a question people have understandably been asking us. Some shipments were rerouted by our law enforcement partners to other points of entry due to road closures. Some shippers have had to reroute, but Cbp has been in communication throughout to ensure shipments can be cleared and onto the normal routes. In terms of an assessment of any other engagement from here, we don't really have any update on that or any investigation to read out at this point in time.
And then, in the Federal Reserve nominees have run into a little bit of criticism from Republicans, in particular of Sarah Raskin. Mm-hmm. Are you concerned that especially given the absence of Senator Lujan, are you concerned that you might not get all those nominees through and that you may have to withdraw Sarah Raskin? There's just been another dust up overnight.
She is one of the most, if not the most qualified person to ever be nominated to this position. She just gave extensive answers at a hearing last week, and she would be someone the president would be proud to have in that role, as independent as it may be. So no, that is not an assessment or a prediction we're making. Go ahead.
Jen, 2 questions for you. One, the Secretary General of NATO has recently talked about the possibility of a more permanent military presence in Europe in response to Russia. Where does the Biden administration stand on that issue?
We've had a permanent military presence in Europe. You mean in addition?
A longer term, more permanent presence in Europe.
Well, we've always had one, but you mean a plussed up one? I would really point.
The language that was used was longer term.
Sure. Well, but we've always had one, so it's been very long term to date. But I would say if he is asking, and I have not seen his comments about increased plussed up presence in some of the places from U.S. troops that we've had, I would really point you to the Department of Defense. Obviously, we would be in touch with our NATO allies and partners about that, but that is really related to the aggression at the border that we're seeing in Ukraine. But there's been tens of thousands of troops in Europe for some time now.
And just on the topic of masking in schools, if you could just clarify, I know you've talked about this a little bit already, do you think that at some point in the future, even if that point isn't now, it would be appropriate for there to be updated federal guidelines just to avoid confusion? I think the administration has been clear that on other issues there are sort of messaging issues that could have been a little bit more clear coming from the administration. So on this issue, do you think that that might be appropriate?
Well, the guidance is very clear, which is that we recommend masking in schools. That is the recommendation from the CDC. It is also true that at some point when the science and the data warrants, of course, our hope is that that's no longer the recommendation, and they are continually assessing that. But the guidance is very clear. It is also true that it has always been up to local school districts to make determinations about how to implement these policies. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. Just to follow on that, you had said that you guys are in constant contact with CDC about what it looks like to move forward. Can we expect the president to provide some sort of roadmap for how states can transition out of a state of emergency, kind of akin to what he did with the winter strategy?
We're in constant discussion internally about the moment we're in as it relates to COVID. And of course, as the president said, I think during his press conference just 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, we certainly don't see this moment now as the new normal, right? But we want to get to a point where COVID is not disrupting our daily lives. And I'm sure you will hear more from the president about that. But we're constantly discussing that internally.
Can I ask one more just for a colleague? The Education Department announced Friday it was going to withdraw its appeal for a $100,000 student loan forgiveness court decision. Wondering if you could shed any light on why the Biden administration reversed its decision to appeal the case, and if there's any plans to fight other bankruptcy cases.
I would really point you to the Department of Education, the Department of Justice potentially, but I will check and see if there's anything more we can offer on that from here. Go ahead.
Got one more on masks. I was wondering if I could just ask it this way.
Sure.
The president's wife is an educator. He just heard from governors across the country last week, many of whom were saying this is enough, it's time for new normal. Where is he on this after taking all of these inputs?
Well, the president is not a private citizen. He's president of the United States, right? So
So I'm asking you.
Well, but I guess I'm saying it's different than asking kind of a person on the street, right? I mean, I'm just, it is different because he is the president. He needs to project what the data and the science is telling us. And the data and science, where we get that guidance from is the CDC and our health and medical experts. Their guidance continues to be that in schools, people should mask up. So that is what we are continuing to convey and recommend.
And then can you tell us any more about where he will be going on Thursday?
Not quite yet, but hopefully, maybe by the end of the day, we hope to have some more details very soon. Sure, go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. Going back to Dr. Landler, the investigation found credible evidence of multiple women having complained to other staff about negative interactions with him, with a pattern of abusive and disrespectful behavior. Again, the president, at the outset of this administration, said, "I will fire you on the spot, no ifs, ands, or buts." So why is he not being fired?
Well, Matt, let me first say that no one is suggesting that this behavior is acceptable. Quite the opposite. And that since he made the comment he did, which I think was one of the first few days in office, if I remember correctly, we put in place this safe and respectful workplace policy to ensure there was a mechanism, right, to conduct investigations as was conducted in this case. That can be thorough, that result in some actions and some steps. That's exactly what happened here. But again, this is not acceptable behavior. Dr. Lander is expected to comply, and he will be monitored for compliance because having a safe workplace environment is imperative to the President, the Vice President, the First Lady, the Second Gentleman, all of us who work here.
Are there ways in which he's being held to account if he's not being fired?
Well, again, as I outlined a little bit earlier, but let me reiterate a little bit. In addition to a full and thorough investigation, it was conveyed through meetings with senior White House officials directly that his behavior was inappropriate, corrective action was needed, and we will monitor for compliance to those actions that were required. Again, I think you may have also seen, or it was reported, that he also sent a note to his staff conveying his commitment to abiding by that, and we certainly hope that that is the case.
It doesn't sound like a zero tolerance policy, if that's the case.
Well, our objective and the President's objective is to prevent this behavior from ever happening again. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. On the Supreme Court,
Sure.
I wanted to ask about the President's efforts to engage with Republicans.
Sure.
And whether that's the best use of his time, considering what he has said about the public not wanting him to be the President's senator.
That is true, and I think he has not been the president senator over the course of the last period of time. It's also true that he takes his role as president and going through the process of selecting and nominating an eminently qualified nominee very seriously. And in his experience as the former chairman of the Judiciary Committee, that includes consultation with key members of the Senate, and that is an important part of the process in this case. I think what he was referring to in those comments was hours and hours and hours of endless closed-door meetings as it related to negotiating through the course of the fall. But this is an opening to a lifetime appointment, an opening on the Supreme Court, which is a lifetime appointment, something the President takes very seriously, and consulting with Republicans and Democrats is an important part of that process in his view.
On Nord Stream 2, you've made clear the administration's position. I did want to understand, though, is the administration ready to take some type of action without Germany to stop Nord Stream 2?
I understand your question. I just am not in a position to detail further other than to convey that it will not move forward if Russia invades.
On Dr. Lander, if I may,
Sure.
Can you talk about what some of the specific corrective changes that were ordered, what some of those were? And also, has the President spoken with Dr. Lander since the investigation was completed? And is he worried about this overshadowing Moonshot?
Well, I would say that the President's hope, all of our hope, is certainly that Dr. Lander will abide by making changes, that he will be held to account, to comply fully with the steps that needed to be taken. I can see if there's more specific details. I certainly understand why you're asking. But overall, it's ensuring that he is creating a work environment that people feel safe, they feel supported, and that is respectful. And that is the overarching policy that needs to be implemented moving forward. You saw him send a note to staff last week. Now it is whether he is implementing those policies moving forward.
Have they spoken?
I don't have any conversations between them to read out. Go ahead.
Thanks. Just following up on a question asked earlier about what you said isn't a split between Ukraine's messaging and your guys' messaging on the risk of an invasion. Can you walk us through the communication strategy, like what you're trying to highlight here, the risk of invasion, and why you're trying to highlight it more strongly than Ukraine? Do you see it as, sounding the alarm more vocally? Is there an advantage that you see in sort of preventing Putin from taking any further steps here?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I can't speak for the communication strategy of the Ukrainians. Only they can speak to that. But I can tell you that what we have been trying to do, we obviously have a range of information, a broad range of information that we have been able to gather here, and also through partnership with our
Holy hell, Jen Psaki.
Our objective, as we talked about a little bit on Friday, is to deny Russia the opportunity to use some of the tactics, sometimes some of the lies that they have done in the past to justify an invasion of Ukraine. That's straight out of their playbook. We have seen tactics they have used in the past, where a few years ago, Russia's defense ministry falsely accused the United States of running a clandestine biological weapons lab in the country of Georgia, enabling their efforts to destabilize the Georgian government. They used to fabricate stories in Syria about how attacks on international aid convoys were undertaken by rebels or terrorists. We have undertaken an effort to, in some cases, declassify information, in other cases, describe in as great a detail as we can without putting at risk sources and methods what we're seeing, what information we're evaluating, so that it makes it more difficult for them to lay a predicate for invading Ukraine. So that is why we're doing it. I'd also note that a number of your news organizations, of course, have reporters near there who are seeing the troop buildup, right? So there is justification and validation from even that, but also from our partners around the world as well. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jen. Senator Manchin expressed confidence over the weekend that reforms to the Electoral Count Act will pass. Would the president be supportive of signing reforms to the Electoral Count Act if they were to pass, or would he require that there be elements of the voting rights bill included in order to do so?
Well, I would really point you to Senator Klobuchar, who is really one of the point people leading this effort. Obviously, we have said many times that the Electoral Count Act, while we support the effort, is not a replacement for voting rights legislation for a range of reasons. I know there's a lot of discussions on the Hill about what that may look like or what a final package. I can't outline that from here.
China used a young Uyghur athlete to carry the Olympic torch during the opening ceremony of the Games in Beijing. What did the administration make of that, given the ongoing genocide against Uyghurs in Xinjiang?
Well, I know that our UN ambassador, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, spoke to this yesterday. So let me reiterate what I thought were some very powerful comments, if I'm remembering. I know someone spoke to it, but I believe it was her, that we can't allow this to be a distraction. From exactly as you said, the human rights abuses, the genocide that we're seeing in parts of China. That is why we did not send a diplomatic delegation, even as we're cheering for our U.S. athletes. Diplomacy is complicated, as we know, but we can't allow it to be a distraction from what we know is happening to many people in China. Go ahead.
Just to reiterate, on Inauguration Day, President Biden said he would fire anyone that treated other colleagues with disrespect, talked down to someone, and he would fire them on the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts. So what is the White House's message to people that work in this building and throughout the federal government that took the president at his word and don't understand why Dr. Lander has not been fired?
Our message, and thank you for your question, is that the president has crystal clear expectations with all of us about how we are to treat our colleagues, treat people who work for us, and that is what he expects for people across the building. It is because of those comments that he made early on, in part, that we put in place a safe and respectful workplace policy, that it was the mechanism for which this thorough investigation went forward. And it is based on that thorough investigation. From that came the meeting that Dr. Lander had with senior White House officials, where it was made clear what steps he was required to take, and that we will be complying and watching for compliance with those steps. And our objective is, of course, to prevent any of this behavior from happening again in the future. That's the overarching objective.
Those weren't comments, those were a promise.
Absolutely. That's why we put in place a policy to ensure there is a mechanism for investigating and a mechanism for preventing this type of behavior from repeating itself.
He promised to fire people that did this, and he hasn't fired. The individual the White House found violated what he said.
I understand it, and again, let me just reiterate, nothing about his behavior is acceptable to anyone here at all. Quite the opposite. Let me be clear about that. But there is now a process in place that was not in place at the time to evaluate and determine what the steps should be taken in the event that any behavior like this occurs to prevent it from happening in the future. That is exactly what happened in this case.
The federal employees shouldn't expect that people will be fired if they treat colleagues with disrespect.
Again, I think I've outlined very clearly what the process was. Go ahead.
Two questions for you, excuse me.
It's more than that. I think it's clear that we put in place a process, an internal process, to ensure that there was a thorough investigation, that it was evaluated, that steps were taken for this individual, Dr. Lander, to meet with senior officials, to make clear that there were requirements that would be put in place, and he was expected to comply with them to prevent this behavior from ever happening again. Go ahead.
Questions. First, on Senator Manchin, on Build Back Better, he's reiterated again his view that that structure is done. And he said he wants regular order for any pieces of that will move forward. That means potentially weeks, hearings, all of that. Is the president on board with that idea of hearings, markups, and if not, what's his plan for elements of Build Back Better to move forward?
Well, I can't speak for Senator Manchin. No, you're not asking me to, but what there is broad agreement on and support for is taking steps to lower costs for the American people, whether it's Medicare or whether it's ability to negotiate the price of prescription drugs, something broadly supported, whether it's lowering the cost of child care, elder care, making sure that the tax system is more fair. In terms of the mechanisms and the legislative process, I just don't have any more predictions for you in terms of how it will proceed.
Jobs, a positive report on Friday by and large.
Yeah.
However, black unemployment is still twice the rate of white unemployment. What is the White House doing? What does the White House think needs to be done to deal with that, especially for black men?
Well, I would say it just is a reminder that there's still, as much as the president oversaw the largest creation of job creation ever in 1 year in American history, it means there's more work to be done because there are still a lot of work that needs to be done to level the playing field, to ensure that small businesses have the assistance they need, including black-owned small businesses, that we are doing everything we can to ensure there is opportunity for a range of parts of the economic world. Go ahead.
A few on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Congressman Clyburn says that the president will need bipartisan support for his Supreme Court pick, citing Senator Lujan's stroke and hospitalization. Is it the White House's position that Republican votes would be helpful in the Senate, or do you view them as necessary?
It's a full house.
I think conveyed from here that we haven't set a deadline for when a vote should be. We have said we want it to happen as expeditiously as possible. We have also said, and I'll reiterate, that because the president has every intention of nominating an eminently qualified black woman to serve on the Supreme Court, that this is a person who should warrant bipartisan support. And that is certainly what we hope for.
Speaking of the timeline, the president has said that he intends to make that announcement by the end of the month. Has that timeline shifted in any way? Might he make this announcement before President's Day weekend?
I don't have anything. February is February, so I don't have anything to predict for you in terms of when in February, quite at this point, it will be. Go ahead. Yeah.
If you don't mind. As far as where and when he could meet with the potential nominees, he's going to Camp David this weekend. Is the president going to meet with potential Supreme Court justices at Camp David this weekend?
I don't have anything for you on the process of how the president will interview potential candidates. Go ahead.
And does the White House have reaction to the death of the Navy SEAL candidate who died after completing what's known as Hell Week? And has the president spoken to his family, or does he have plans to?
I don't have not yet, Karen. We will check and see where that is at this point. Obviously, there'll be an investigation here. I'd point you to the Department of Defense for any specifics. As a starting point here, obviously our heart goes out to the family members, the community, the friends, and we will look for more details to come out of an investigation.
Would there be any thought given to re-examining that training?
It's a good question. I would really point you to the Department of Defense, and the president would certainly look to his Defense Department and leadership to make any recommendations in that regard. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. 2 questions. First, on the Olympics, does the White House agree with Speaker Nancy Pelosi that American athletes shouldn't speak out against Beijing for their own safety?
Well, I know we saw those comments, obviously. I think they were last week, if I remember it correctly. The president's view is that, first, we support our athletes 100%. Yay. All athletes have the right to freely express themselves. And that is the case in Beijing at the Olympics. It is the case anywhere. They will make those choices as individuals. It's the responsibility of China to live up to its own obligations to maintain a safe environment for all athletes at these games. The world will be watching, but we leave it up to individuals. We certainly support the right to peaceful protest.
On the First Lady's comments this morning about, she said she conceded that free tuition for community college is dead, it's out of Build Back Better. I'm wondering kind of what was the thought about having her give that message? Is the White House trying to restart negotiations on Build Back Better? Was there some sort of underlying intent to have the First Lady come out and say that this morning?
I think it was speaking from her heart about her view that free community college would benefit kids, young people, level the playing field across the country. It's something the president agrees with. I think you all have seen many, many iterations of the Build Back Better legislation or options in recent months. It hasn't been in there in a while, so I think she was speaking from her heart about how beneficial she thinks that funding and that support would be. Go ahead, April.
Jen, two topics. One, recently a black man was killed in Minnesota over a no-knock warrant. Has the White House taken note of this? And does this bring afresh the renewed call for this executive order, this police reform executive order, as well as the standalone pieces that are potentials on police reform on Capitol Hill?
Absolutely, and it should. Let me reiterate, because I asked a little bit about this morning as well. So, one, let me first say that we mourn the tragic death of Amir Locke, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family. The President's committed to ensuring fair, impartial, and effective policing and keeping our communities safe. These goals go hand in hand, in his view, with what we can achieve by building trust between the police and communities they serve. So back in September, Attorney General Garland issued a new policy imposing restrictions on the use of no-knock warrants, chokeholds, and carotid restraints by federal agents. Obviously, that's for federal agents, so that's limited, not to local. But I know you follow this closely, but for others. President Biden, the reason he has been such a strong supporter, one of the reasons, of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act is that it would further restrict the use of no-knock warrants across the country, incentivizing funding by using funding as an incentive. We have been engaging with, as you know, civil rights groups, a number of law enforcement groups, all agree on the need to reform the use of no-knock warrants. There's a lot of agreement on that to keep both citizens and law enforcement officers safe. And the President is examining the possibility of extending those restrictions to other federal agencies through executive actions that he would have the power to do. I think you all saw Susan Rice convey last week that we're not there yet. We want to make sure we do any action through the administration the right way and it's thorough, but certainly that's part of what's being looked at.
And on the second topic, there is a serious shroud of secrecy around the nominees for Supreme Court, understandably. And I've got two questions on this. One, what's traditional about the process? And then what is very unique to the process because of the historical nature? If you can tell us, and I'm sure you can give us something.
No, it's a good question. It's a very thoughtful question. I was just trying to... there you go. I walked right into that one. What I think is unique in this moment is that the President is someone who has served as the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, as the vice president when there were a number of nominees, a number of historic nominees who were nominated and confirmed by the Senate. And he takes the process and the seriousness, the need for it to be thorough. He's very focused on it. I don't know that that's unique. Obviously, every president, I would hope, takes the process seriously, but he also takes, there was a question earlier about this, the component about advice, part of it very seriously in terms of consulting with Republicans and Democrats in the process. What is unique about this moment? I want to read your article about this to hear what you have to say.
Already.
Okay, your next article about it. I think it's safe to say that there are some criticisms that have been out there without any names being confirmed that are unique to having the possibility, the likelihood, the plan for a woman of color being nominated for this position. And the types of language that are used by some to describe who the president might pick as a nominee are unique to that.
Spoke a moment ago about advice on his nominees. We know the internal advice, particularly from the counsel's office as well as the vice president.
Yeah.
But external. When is the last time that the president talked to Anita Hill?
To Anita Hill?
Yes.
I would have to check on that for you, April.
Part of this process, because we know we know that he talked and they had a very real conversation before he became president-elect.
Sure.
I want to know, one, when is the last time he consulted with her? And if she is part, because the names of those who are on the outside are dribbling out. And is she one of those? And he respects her opinion.
I will check with our team who are overseeing the process, and you're familiar with who that internal team is. I know we probably have to wrap up soon here. Go ahead.
Yeah, two things on gas prices. So President Biden has said with oil prices that he released the strategic petroleum reserves, and that brought down prices. Actually, on that day, the price of oil actually rose, and it went down for the Omicron variant as the fears of lockdowns. Today, oil prices are $91, more than $91 a barrel. Is there any consideration in the administration to reversing any of the policies or regulations or removing some to encourage more drilling in the U.S. for future demand?
Well, let me tell you what we are doing. Of course, we tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Sometimes that takes some time to be digested into the system. We've also worked with a number of countries around the world to do something similar. We've been engaged with OPEC nation countries about the need for the supply available to meet the demand. We've also called out the record profits made by oil companies, which should not be lost as an issue as consumers are looking at the price that they are paying at the prices they are paying. And then I would also note that you should check with oil companies on whether they are tapping into all of the land leases they have available at their disposal. I don't believe they are.
What about encouraging the investment in drilling in other places in the U.S.?
Again, I think the president's view is that it is a huge advantage to us to be a leader in the clean energy transition. And over the course of years and decades, we've become a clean energy superpower because ultimately that's not just where the jobs are, it's where the strategic advantage will lie in 10, 20, 30 years. I would note again, and you can ask the oil companies this, there is land they're not all drilling on. Every lease is not used. I'd encourage you to ask them that question. Go ahead.
Approval rating continues.
Go ahead in the middle.
Is this time for him to do a shake?
Let me just finish. I think we just go ahead in the middle right there.
This is the time for the president
Simon, let
to
me just have him ask his question, okay? Go ahead.
People seem to be sending him a different message.
The question. Quickly back to Nord Stream 2. We know the American position to that. You made that crystal clear. Did the president know the German position before the talks in the Oval Office began?
Well, again, I'm sure this will be a part of the discussion. I would bet someone will ask about this when we're having a press conference in just a little bit here. But what I can just reiterate is that it will not move forward.
Quick question to President Macron's visit in Moscow today and the Minsk agreement. What is the White House's position on the question of autonomy or more autonomy for the different regions in Ukraine? For instance, the Donbass with a majority Russian population. Should they have an increased say in the Ukrainian national politics, including the question of which alliance Ukraine wants to be a member of?
Again, our position on this has not changed. Obviously, the Minsk agreements is part of the discussion, as has been reported, between President Putin and President Macron. We'll wait for those discussions to conclude, and we certainly support any means of diplomatic engagement. All right, thanks, everyone. I have enough water in here for everybody. It's so large.
You're gross, Jembal Psaki. Thank you so much, Smokey SGT, for the donations and the support. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Someone said, hold on. No, I can't find it now. It was like Cat Piss Psaki or something. It was great. What's up, Chris? Yep, cut my hair right before the live. All right, hooligans. So we're going to get ready for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we will check back on the Canadians. I'm sure the lives are going to start dropping out. It's 2:45 here Eastern time. That's usually when people start like going to lunch and stuff like that. So I don't know how much longer we're going to keep rolling. Once the feeds stop, I'm going to go get some lunch. I have a couple things I have to take care of. Nothing that's going to take too long. And then as soon as I get back to the house, we will continue our live for the rest of the day. But right now we're going to get ready for the Pledge of Allegiance. While I'm getting that all set up, please make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe. Please share this out. It helps a lot when you click that share button, because you know they can reset our algorithm. They can do all these tricks like taking our likes away. They can unsubscribe my viewers, but they can't prevent you from sharing the link out. So it really helps when you guys do that. And then might as well just go ahead and say this disclaimer, do as much as I can to try and keep us from getting a strike. Let's see. Everything you see here, read on the live is not real or accurate information and should not be taken as such. This is just make-believe from the mind of a hooligan. Yeah. Please read the description. All right, hooligans, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, just give me a second. We're going to see what the Canadians are doing. What's up, Indigo? Hey, I appreciate you joining me, 777. I love doing the pledge. Happy Monday, Fire. Thanks for being here. Chris, how many days is it now? Well, Saturday is 1 week. Sunday, Monday. It's been 9 days or something, I think, since they've arrived in Ottawa. Hydrodynamic, the other day you started speaking in a Canadian accent. I can't do a Canadian accent. I don't know why, I'm just not able to. And if I did, it would probably be severely offensive, so I don't even try. Hey, betrayed by corrupt scumbags, I appreciate you being a part of the live. Man, it's beer o'clock. I don't have any beer. Maybe I'll pick some up when I'm out and about. Yeah, John Black, I don't know if they're going to get the military involved or not. The officers up until like last night have been like pretty cool about all of this, but I know last night they were confiscating gas canisters. I guess in Toronto they pretty much chased everyone off. I just seen a video of an officer aggressively arresting an older man. Not exactly sure the context of that, but as far as I could tell, it was in Canada. So I don't know if the police are like giving orders to rough these people up or what's going on, but all the way up until yesterday, the police were being pretty cool about the whole situation. I don't know what it's going to take for them to bring in the military. I kind of wonder if that's part of the strategy for them to declare Ottawa in a state of emergency.
Hey, thank you for that.
Yeah, Sherry, I think I got them pulled up. Man is saying out and about. Sounded Canadian when I said it. I'm kind of surprised that you guys don't think I sound really close to Canadian, being I'm a Michigander. I guess we have a nasally accent. That's what the Floridians tell me.
Between Parliament, Sussex.
Yeah, Machines Everywhere isn't live right now. Sam, yes. I got a strike Friday, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been like 4 or 5 days now. I don't even know why. We covered Viva. We covered the White House. We covered Travel Fund. And then all of a sudden I got a strike for medical misinformation. They wouldn't tell me specifically what I did, said, or whatever wrong. And I kept pushing it because I have a description full of disclaimers. You know, none of this is factual information and shouldn't be taken as such and blah, 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 blah. And they gave me a strike. I did an appeal. It took them 16 minutes to reject my appeal. And then I wrote customer service for like 3 days in a row, just flooding their chat with more truth than they were able to handle, and then they let me go live. What's really funny is they send me an email telling me that they're going to investigate my channel to look into whether or not I had broke community guidelines, but at the same time, right then and there, they unlocked my channel. So I'm waiting for a follow-up email to tell me that they're sorry, but they're not going to reinstate my video, and they're going to not lift the strike. I've had this happen 3 times now where customer service has told me that they're not going to take the strike away, but they did. It's because YouTube is controlled by a computer. The whole system is ran on an algorithm. The people you talk to in customer service are just there to rub your bow and make you feel better while they just damn you with communism and stuff like that. So that's why I'm really pushing everybody to get on these alternative platforms and stuff like that, because you know, it's only a matter of time before me and other YouTubers that you watch are no longer able to be on the YouTube platform. And so instead of just sitting here on YouTube and bitching about communism, you can actually make an effort and go to any of these other alternative platforms where you're not going to be censored and stuff like that, and you actually can enjoy your freedom of speech. I know everybody, you know, wants to stand up for their rights. That's why we're all together and stuff. But sitting here on YouTube bitching about communism but supporting YouTube makes no sense. It's not it's not difficult. Make a little bit of effort. Get on these alternative platforms And you'll see the more of us that get kicked off YouTube, the more you'll realize it's worth having these alternative accounts.
On right now.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Chase. Ottawa has got like a really clear feed.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the super chats.
Yeah, Cornish. It's customer disservice, definitely. Trigger crazy bigot strikes are the best. Trigger crazy say you're Antifa and they'll leave you alone. I know I should just send chants to them. I know all the chants by heart. I know chants that they don't even say anymore.
We are currently in a state of an emergency. This is what it looks like.
What's up, Bipolar Bear? Thanks for joining the live. Hydrodynamic. Tiger Crazy's in the house. We're going to have a pay-per-view bigot hooligan smackdown later between Hydrodynamic and Trigger Crazy. You guys crack me up. Man, I would never send my dreads to YouTube as a peace offering. They'd make a voodoo doll and then just stab me in the Psaki. Clark, or All Clark, I got a strike on YouTube. I've never had a problem on any other platform. When we covered the Kyle situation that happened live, when he disabled that rioter, you're supposed to get a warning for your first offense on Twitch. They skipped the warning and suspended me for 30 days. So if I screw up again on Twitch, I'm gone. They'll just delete me, which sucks. They should have just gave me a warning and then, you know, took a hike, but they didn't. That's the only time I've ever been penalized on any platform. YouTube gives me strikes for all kinds of stuff. But it's dumb though, because like, you know, we're watching Ottawa right now. Something happens, I'm gonna get the strike and he won't. And that don't make no sense. I don't know how that, you know, I don't know how that works. All Clark, which platform do you like better? It's not really up to me. My goal is to make sure that all the viewers, all the hooligans are happy where they are, comfortable with the platform they're watching, and all of that. So we're, you know, get in where you fit in. YouTube sucks though. Getting off YouTube is the best thing you can do. I'm live right now on Rumble, Odyssey, Facebook, and Twitch. Twitch takes 50% of all donations. Rumble takes 35% or something like that. I think YouTube takes the same thing. Odyssey only takes like 1 to 5% or something. Odyssey's the best. They fully support YouTube, well, not YouTube creators, but creators. And they are anti-YouTube, and they're very open about it. If you have Twitter, you should definitely follow Odyssey. They're awesome, and they're constantly calling out communism and calling out YouTube. They even have stickers with their logo pissing on the YouTube logo. They're awesome over there on Odyssey. Yeah, Amy, you can't say that word. You can't say the backdoor word anymore. Apparently that's like an automatic deletion. Yeah, Sam, they're racist against hooligans. That's the problem. Bipolar Bear, who owns Odyssey? I don't know who owns Odyssey. I think they're Australian, but I'm not sure.
Hook up back on Bank Street. Back to the Parliament.
Cornish, I don't even know how to reach customer service on Twitch. I could probably figure it out, but I'm sure they're not going to. I mean, I could give it a try, I guess. I don't know. It's been such a long time. It's been like over a year since they penalized me. I don't know if they would undo it at this point. Yeah, it's super quiet right now. I got Viva pulled up. Travel funds pulled up. It's not too many people doing much right now. Like I said, once it gets around that 2 o'clock time, that's when people usually start going to get lunch and stuff like that. And where we're, in Ottawa, they're Eastern time, just like here in Michigan where I am. That's usually what happens. I mean, I've been covering protests and rallies and marches and riots for a long time. That 2 o'clock feeling comes around, people start dipping out. Kelly, I'm not sure why you were having issues on Odyssey. The biggest complaint I hear about Odyssey is the buffering, but it's a lot better now. I think they're really working on that. It has something to do with their servers. The only time I notice major buffering is when Salty Cracker's live. He takes up their whole all their resources. Sure, Chris, you don't get a buffer on Odyssey anymore? Yeah. I know Odyssey's going to end up taking the lead here. What's up, old hillbilly? Yeah, I was looking homeless, so thought I'd cut my hair before I went live today. Yeah, JP, it looks kind of like a ghost town now. Wow, look at that building. That's neat. Matt, Joe Rogan was offered $100 million to get on Rumble. I can't even believe the troubles he's in right now. And then he just put out that apology thing or whatever. I don't know. You can't fold to communism. I don't know. I think it's weird that he kind of apologized, but at the same time he also declared that the information was being cut and manipulated to be out of context. How can you apologize for somebody taking your content and manipulating it so you look bad because it's being taken out of context? They do the same thing to Trump. You don't hear Trump apologizing for what CNN does with his recordings. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing going on right now. What's up, Brian? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? McMays. More or less. More or less. Good, Brian. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you so much, Faded Operator, for the donation. I really appreciate all the support. Why is your comment removed? You must have removed it, because I've never seen Odyssey remove anyone's comment. Amy, yeah. On the alternative platforms, you do have to create an account in order to access the chat. You don't have to if you just want to watch the live. But yeah, to be a part of the community, you have to actually make an account. And it should be free on all these platforms. Thanks for joining Odyssey, Snow Possum. American Patriot George. Old Man Walter is speaking live right now. The White House schedule says he's not supposed to speak for another 45 minutes. – 8 minutes. I was off on that, but it's still supposed to be another 8 minutes. JP, you do a lot for 100 million, but you won't sell your soul. What about butt stuff? I'd do a lot for 100 million, but I wouldn't do that. Eric, the shirt I have on is not necessarily a new shirt. I had a bunch of shirt designs up on my merch store over the summertime, and something happened because they got bought out by another company, and they took all my listings down. They said that it expired, or I didn't sell enough t-shirts of that design, and so they ended up taking all my designs down. So I worked on getting everything back up, and this design just went live today. So if you go to the merch store, I will post the link in the chat here in a second, but it's also in the description. This shirt is now available. T-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, leggings, lots of stuff. We'll have tumblers and stuff soon as well. Hydrodynamic, I don't squeal, I re. That's right, Shane, I'll perch the link. Let me just perch it real quick. If I can find it.
Years ago, I got
Earplugs. Come over here.
That's awesome. thank your fathers for raising you to be free. Today, after Thanksgiving, in Canada going through a storm. We will not abandon you. We will stick with you, and we will overcome this storm. And I say to many loving people who immigrated to Canada, today we need you as you need them. You stand with them. You stand with us. Because we leave the heritage to our future generations. Already will not prevail. You are more than them. We are free people. We love people, and they're scared of us. They demonize us because they search their hearts and they see the man. Me, all of us, let's stand one together. All these people are all up on them.
Send, I can't go a higher pitch. I'm just not able to. I'm one of those low tones. Kelly, you heard that half the police in Ottawa just quit? I haven't heard that yet. I got nervous there for a second. I saw the guy in camo on the screen, just assumed he had a rifle on him. Not where they are. Hydrodynamic, that was exactly what I was going to say, but I couldn't figure out an appropriate way to say it. That's right, you got to put some pressure on the nuggets there to hit those high notes. Chris, what's drunk Jeff like? A party. It sucks when I get drunk because I'm so friendly and charismatic that I make a ton of friends and a ton of plans, and then I wake up the next day and I'm like, no to all of that. And then I'm just a giant disappointment to everyone. It's rough. Hold on a second, something's wrong here.
Quickly, yeah. Live on YouTube. Nothing much. I mean, you know, I'm getting real-time news just as I'm on the ground. They're informing me of what's going on too, right? So. I think that's something.
Bipolar Bear, I do all I can to not do that.
Oh yes, that's what was in here.
Which is way better than going to jail, which is what we're all prepared to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just something else.
50% of the Ottawa police quitting is not true. It's just rumors because the Ottawa police support the truckers. Yeah, John Costello, that's what I was kind of figuring there.
Yeah, just YouTube. Just YouTube, yep. Yep. Yeah, that's right, yep.
So the reason I changed the feed is because I guess the Ottawaks live had ended, and I don't know. It like started replaying the live, but I caught it fairly quick.
YouTube channels, how are you going to do that?
But even still,
Yeah.
they say if you don't like that, you should work
Right, yeah.
They build a parlor, Apple shut down parlor.
That's right.
They say, oh, well, you can't use our findings, let's use it. So we build
Yeah.
it, they tear it down. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys can't do this. It's like taking gas. It's like stealing candy from a kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's like, whatever, right? Nobody.
Loyal Justice, yes. The Ottawa police, I don't know if they took their food, but I guess they're no longer allowed to be provided food. And they did take their fuel last night. And now you will be cited, either a citation or arrested or something for providing fuel to the truckers as aiding and abetting.
We do a service to our country. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not with any organization that wants to defund your police. Justin,
Thanks, Rain. I appreciate it.
those are the real heroes. Those guys protect our families.
100%.
Not this guy. You know what he does? He hides.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. I appreciate it. Thanks for the update. We appreciate that. Yeah, so just as you guys just said, like literally 30 seconds ago before I walked up to him, there's some kind of negotiations going on that say they're trying to see, currently while the negotiations are going, the majority of them are...
Bones Mama, no honking, 10-day injunction signed by judge. Anyone who honks will be arrested. Interesting. Bones Mama, will you do me a favor and stop posting restreamers in the Discord? I appreciate you trying to provide live sources and stuff, but if you're going to post a link in the Discord, it has to be a source. I kind of tired of deleting your posts and stuff, so I would appreciate if you would just only post sources, not restreamers.
So much. Thank you. Vasho, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Cheers, Vasho. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Paul, I watched Viva interview someone who had gas canisters. They said as long as your canisters are empty, you're free to walk around, but if you're caught taking fuel to truckers and stuff, I guess you will be charged with a crime. I don't know if they confiscate your fuel or what happens after that, though.
Then we'll see how that goes. Stream seems to be holding on. All right, 1 sec. Let me just answer that. Yeah.
John Costello, not aiding and abetting. Oh, that's what I had heard.
I'm going to wait for you at Parliament when you get there. If you want to, I don't know if you want to use your phone to pop in for a little bit. All right. 1900 in the chat.
Thank you so much, Bones Mama, for the bits. I really appreciate the donation and support. Thank you.
Share, subscribe, and subscribe to the backup channel, which is my construction channel, just in case. You never know what's going to happen with this channel. So cheers. We'll walk down the street here. It is much warmer today, thank God. As you can see, the snow and ice is melting. Yeah. StreamYard is used.
Please do not post links on Odyssey. It takes people away from the live. If you want to post links in the Discord, please. Sure, Crazy. Yes, it is aiding and abetting. I will send you a link. Well, either way, it's not okay to bring the truckers fuel at this time, I guess.
Emergency vehicles at all, as they can definitely travel free and clear throughout the streets, and they always have been. Unlike some of the news we've heard.
I appreciate you, Sam Stowe. Thanks for joining Rumble.
Yeah, anybody that's coming from Viva or watching both, thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Appreciate that support.
Rain, why would you say that on the chat? Good God, why would you say that out loud? I can't even believe YouTube didn't flag that.
Everybody, man, the whole crew, you know, man, we do this together.
Like, I'm glad that's where your morals lie, but Lord, why would you even say that out loud?
Respect, it goes out to you guys doing your thing.
Grabbing base. Where's the riots, JeffMAC? Not in Canada. There ain't gonna riot in Canada. No way. I mean, maybe that would be crazy, but I think we're gonna see riots in Minneapolis. Just my prediction. I think so, if they stay angry over there. I heard there was people calling for riots 2 days ago during a protest.
Yeah, Yasmin, I know what he looks like. I met him before. trying to meet up with
John Costello, that's what I'm saying. You got to find that workaround.
Yeah. Nice.
What's up, Nil? I shaved my head right before we went live.
Down here, so I definitely can't complain. I'm warm.
What's up, Mokum?
Even took off my full face.
What's up, Bud Lightner? I like that.
Mask.
Adriana, I agree.
Yasmin's in the UK. They got their own thing happening over there. A little far from where you are, Yasmin. That'd be awesome if we had some coverage in the UK. Too bad you can't get out there. That would be great to see some, stuff going on like that. Bluebee's got an update here. Ontario Supreme Court. Cloud has granted a 10, prevent truckers parked on the city, Right.
No worry, quits. It's all good. Just letting you know.
Wow.
I appreciate you, Trigger Crazy.
Wow. So something going on, so they can't excessively honk the horns, right? That's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Huh. Very interesting.
I'm doing pretty good, Nil. I'm glad you're doing good too.
Others in the chat that had that, well, there are more jerry cans coming to the scene. As nobody's doing anything about that, and in terms of enforcement that we've seen, obviously we've been live to see that. We haven't seen any.
Thank you so much, Faustina the Queen. I really appreciate the donation and support. Thank you so much.
There is no law on that, if you know what I mean. There is no law on that. Yep, they are slowly trying to silence the situation. I know, yep.
John Lennon, how many truckers are still in Ottawa? I am not sure. It is starting to look kind of scarce, at least where these camera guys are. There is still people there, but it does kind of look like things are slowing down.
In the UK now, congrats on the 20,000 subs. Thank you so much, cab driver. Big ups to you, man. Long time.
Paul, honking is illegal. Chanting ACAB is just fine. That's right. That's how it goes. The world we live in.
Almost 2,200 in the chat. We did have 5,000 in the chat today. 5,000 viewers. When I first started, we had a few technical difficulties, of course, with the phone. That's expected. Lots of donations. This is absolutely amazing. Look at this. Chips, all kinds of noodles. Look at this canned goods.
Grabbing base. Nah, it's just water. I've drank 4 cups of water and 1 cup of coffee since I've been live. Just sitting here. I almost need a whole nother table for all my cups.
Look at all of this today. This is absolutely amazing. Thank everybody for the support. This is excellent. This is absolutely excellent. I know, right? Yeah. Don't believe what you see and hear, of course, on the media. Lots of support and very, very peaceful.
Sure crazy. They called for 2,000 trucks from Alberta last night. Send me the link. Awesome. I will check it out. Neat. I wonder how that's going to go. All right, give me a second. Let me see if we can find another feed here. He'll probably be back up in a second. He has some sort of safety thing, so when he loses signal, it puts up this screen and prevents him from dropping all the way out. I'm not sure what kind of software he uses, but it's interesting. It's an interesting tactic. Just a moment. They're making me sit through an ad. Just give me a second. Well, that's something. The live ended right there. Well, it's 3:30. I'll tell you what. We're going to wrap this live up for now. I need to go get some food, and I have a couple things I have to do. It's not going to take very long. When I get back to the house, we will be going live again to continue on covering the truckers as well as anything else I can find. Well, let's see. Is Old Man Walter up yet? Let's do this. Let's do an open chat until old Man Walter gets on stage. We'll cover whatever he's going to stammer on about. After that, we will cut the live. I'll go take care of what I got to take care of, and we'll come back and be live again. So let's do an open chat for now. Loyal Justice, have your lunch delivered. You mistaken me for living in a place where we have resources like that. We don't have Uber here. We don't have Lyft here. There is no Uber Eats. There is no delivery service. We don't even have franchises where we live. Everything here is mom and pop restaurants and stuff. I can't have food delivered. Charlene, Old Man Walter. That's what we call Biden. Because then you can speak freely. Nothing is as it seems here in Wonderland. What am I looking for? Let's see. There, I got Old Man Walter up in the corner there. Chris, what's your favorite food to cook? What a good question. So I hate cooking, and I am weird about food. I'm always worried that food is bad. So I overcook everything until it tastes like tree bark and it shatters in your mouth like glass. I don't know why I do that. I cook steak until it's hockey pucked. But my favorite thing to cook that actually turns out pretty well is either crab rangoons or chicken fried rice, sushi. I like to make American sushi. Somebody's going to steal my idea, but I like to make American sushi. So we'll make sushi and we'll put like steak and green beans in it, or like chicken and bacon, but it's still wrapped in rice and vegetable wrap or whatever. I like making Asian food. Paul, where's JeffMAC live? Live in Narnia. No, that's what it feels like sometimes, though. I live in West Michigan, north of Muskegon, south of Manistee, west of Grand Rapids, right on the lake. Jack Estelle, how dare you ruin steak like that? I still eat it. I still eat it even though the shards get jammed up in the roof of my mouth like a porcupine spine. It's still decent. Adriana, that's a good idea. Let me see. Give me a second here. right, there we go. Loyal Justice. I live in your imagination. That's right. Oh yeah, let me correct this title before I get a strike. YouTube has like a new policy now, so if your title or anything is any kind of false information, you can get a strike now. So let me change my title real quick before I no longer exist even in your imagination. Coringe the cat. No. We're not gonna name the cat Coringe. These nuggets. I've been calling him Turkey Nugget. I call him all kinds of stuff. I'm weird about names. I almost called nothing what it is. Even in high school I was like that. All my friends had like original names and stuff. I just live in my own world. And I brought you all with me. San, Hooli. Yeah, been calling him Hooli. Hooligan. Little hooligan guy. He's a nice cat. Especially for as young as he is. Yeah, Adriana. Asia would be great. Yeah, I actually tried to put Narnia as our location here on YouTube, and you know, misinformation and whatnot. Loyal Justice. I posted a picture of my new feline friend in the Discord if you guys want to go take a look at him. Faustina, call him MSM. No, because then everybody's going to think he's a liar. Chrissy Cola, your brother named his cat Steven. I've had a cat named Little Man, Gizmo, Mo. Mo was probably the best one because there's more money, more problems. More ass on a cat than you've ever seen. It goes on and on and on. Sam. It is like a dark gray color with black patterns on it. Alright guys, let me see if I can get them on the screen so you can take a gander.
Crush, thank you so much for that. We're back. Crush, thank you. Tara, thank you so much for that. I see that.
Give me a second. I have no idea where this audio is coming from.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, we got some sick.
Well, that was nice and awkward. Just like I like it. All right, there he is in all his glory. Can't really see his pattern from that picture. I don't have any new pictures of him, I don't think. I should be a better cat dad, I guess. Anyways, that's what it looks like. John Costello, you should name him Jeff. People think I'm so conceited as it is. I walk around with my name on my shirt and my hoodie and my hat. So, I mean, my cat's name is Jeff. What are you talking about? I don't know if I could do that. I thought about calling him Trump, because then I could just blame him for everything. You know, I could be like, oh, Trump did it. You hear a noise in the night, you're like, oh, it's probably Trump. Thought about it. Bandit, that's a good name. Yeah, Sam, he's a little hooligan. Tony, thought about calling him Tony. I was calling him Tom for a while. Young Thomas Shelby. Send. Let's just call it Send. I'm sorry, John Costello. I got a lot going on here. I'm reading 5 chats, trying to open cat pictures. My bad. Amy, yeah, he's getting an appointment and stuff. I still have to get like all of his supplies. You know, cat box, cat litter, food bowls, all that stuff. Gotta get him neutered and all of that. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. Who knows? Kitten house, that's a good one. Young Trumpster. Old man Walter, severely late. Almost 25 minutes late. Hunter, that's a good name. Nah, we're not gonna name Wuhan Chicken. He's not gonna be lunch. All the chats are getting dry. My cat's name is Stop That, Get Down. Yeah, I know what that's like. I've had quite a few cats. Choreo, totally going to try American sushi. You gotta make it yourself, as far as I know. I don't think there's anywhere that actually makes it like that. I'd like to come out with a restaurant and make like Americanized Asian food. I don't know if that's racist or not, but you know, we like our own things over here in America. Like, we like everything to have cheese on it. I really like Chinese food and stuff like that, but like I said, as far as I know, you can't get Americanized Chinese food, and I would like to come out with a restaurant like that, and I think people would really dig it. But you know, right now I'm just a live streamer. Well, amongst other things. XRP, yeah, that makes sense.
The United States and the Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany.
All right. Guess we're getting started.
Good afternoon. I'd like to start by thanking Chancellor Scholz for making this visit to Washington. We had an opportunity to have a very productive meeting. I think our staffs wondered whether we were going to let them in at all.
Speak up, you trash human being.
Talking together, and it's been a very, very useful meeting. One of the things that struck me was the shared values and that shape how each of us approaches leadership. Among them, the foundational commitment to the dignity of workers and the need to treat all people with respect. So I enjoyed speaking with you, Olaf, and I know working together will continue to strengthen and deepen our alliance and the extensive partnership between Germany and the United States. Of course, at the top of our agenda today was our united approach to deterring Russia's threats against Ukraine and the long-standing principles of rule-based international order. That's what we spent most of our time talking about. Germany and the United States, together with our allies and partners, are working closely together to pursue diplomatic resolutions of this situation. And diplomacy is the very best way forward for all sides, we both agree, including best for Russia, in our view. And we have made it very clear we're ready to continue talks in good faith with Russia. Germany has also been a leader in pushing de-escalation of tensions and encouraging dialogue through the Normandy format. But if Russia makes a choice to further invade Ukraine, we are jointly ready, and all of NATO is ready. Today, the Chancellor and I discussed our close cooperation and developed a strong package of sanctions that are going to clearly demonstrate international resolve and impose swift and severe consequences if Russia violates Ukraine's sovereignty and its territorial integrity. And I want to thank Germany and all of our other partners in Eastern Europe, in the European Union, for their work in this united effort. We are in agreement that it cannot be business as usual if Russia further invades. We also discussed our shared commitment to NATO's Article 5 responsibilities and reassurance of our eastern flank allies. We're united in that as well. Already, the United States is sending troops to reinforce the alliance, and I want to thank the Chancellor of Germany for hosting additional U.S. forces and for the long-standing hospitality to our women and men in uniform. We also discussed the challenges we're facing to the international order from China, along with Russia and other competitors that are pursuing more illiberal futures. We've agreed that Germany and the United States will continue to work together to ensure that the rules and principles governing emerging technologies are geared to advance freedom of opportunity, not repression or authoritarianism. We also reaffirmed our commitment to completing the work of integrating the Western Balkans into the European institutions and to finally realize a Europe that is whole, free, and at peace. With Germany holding the presidency of the G7, we also talked about how that forum can harness the world's leading democracies to advance a robust agenda on global challenges, from ending the pandemic to addressing climate change. So the bottom line is this: whether as allies in NATO, partners through the European Union, as leaders of the G7 and G20, or through our strong bilateral relationship, Germany and the United States are close friends and reliable partners, and we can count on one another. There is no issue of global importance where Germany and the United States are not working together, strength to strength, and applying and amplifying our efforts together. So I want to thank you all for making the journey today, and I look forward to being the first of many opportunities we can spend together, beginning this meeting and throughout the rest of the year and the rest of our terms. So thank you and welcome. The floor is yours, sir.
Schönen Dank.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon from my side as well. I'm very grateful that we had the opportunity to talk in much detail today, and that I was able to make my first official visit here, and that we also could talk about the important questions that we're dealing with today. We are in a very difficult situation, and it is a good thing that Joe and I were able to discuss what we need to do in this difficult context. Of course, there is a military threat in Ukraine, against Ukraine. We cannot remain silent on that. We see the number of Russian troops along the Ukrainian border, and that is a serious threat to European security. And this is why it is important that we act together, that we stand together, and that we do what is necessary together. It is important that all allies, the US and Germany, the transatlantic partnership between the US and Europe, NATO, say the same thing, speak with one voice, and do things together. And we made it very clear, if there was a military aggression against Ukraine, this will entail severe consequences that we agreed upon together, severe sanctions that we have worked on together. So there will be a high price for Russia. This is a very clear message. Everybody has understood it. And I think this message has been made clear again and again, so that even Russia has understood the message now. What is important is that we also intensively worked on preparing possible sanctions together. We don't want to start once there is a military aggression against Ukraine. We have prepared a reaction that will help us to react swiftly if needed. And we will do that. At the same time, it is important to use all diplomatic means we have. And I'm very glad about your great willingness to move forward together, especially the bilateral talks between the US and Russia. And of course, the talks that we have agreed upon within the NATO-Russia format. This is also important, also because Russia needs to understand that NATO stands together and that NATO is prepared. After so many years, there have not been any talks in this format, so it is a good sign that they are happening now. Of course, we have controversial debates there, but it is important that we talk. And the same is true for the OSCE, where we need to discuss about security in Europe. This is also a progress, as tiresome as it may be, and we have not yet reached any very substantial conclusions yet, but it is good to see that this format plays a role now. And the same is true for the talks between Ukraine, Russia, France, and Germany, the Normandy format. We have this format, but we haven't been able to really use it in a productive way over the last few years. So now we have come back to that format. We are having tough discussions in that format, and that shows that there are ways that will lead us out of this difficult situation. And this dual-track approach of clear announcements with regard to sanctions that will be taken if there is a military aggression, and at the same time keeping all dialogue formats open. I think this is the most promising strategy one can have, and that is what we're doing together, and we stand side by side in this approach. We also talked about many other topics that are important for us today, especially when it comes to the G7 presidency of the Federal Republic of Germany. We will work closely as strong economies, strong democracies, and we also, therefore, have a special mandate to contribute to cohesion worldwide. And part of this is that we continue to do everything we can to make sure that the citizens of the world can be vaccinated, not only in our rich countries, but also in countries where people would love to have the vaccine but don't have access yet. And these are initiatives that we have carried out together and that are of utmost importance worldwide. The same is true for fighting man-made climate change, a big topic that keeps us all busy, even though it is obvious that only a global solution can be successful because climate is a global thing. It doesn't stop at national borders. As an industrialized nations, we have an important contribution to make. We have technological opportunities, economic opportunities, and have to use them in order to prepare a situation where we and others can enjoy prosperity without harming the climate. This is the big challenge that we see, and that is of great importance to us. So this is why we want to work together on this strategy and use a climate club of like-minded people and partners. These are some of the topics we discussed, and once again, the personal discussion we had illustrates the excellent cooperation between our countries, the strong bond we have within our transatlantic partnership, and the fact that both countries can rely on each other.
So he's going to refer to old man Walter as Joe, huh? That's how we do that. Keep that same energy when Putin comes around.
You got the first question.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Chancellor Scholz. Mr. President, I have wanted to ask you about this Nord Stream project that you've long opposed.
Are they friend
You didn't
or foe?
mention it just now by name, nor did Chancellor Scholz. Did you receive assurances from Chancellor Scholz today that Germany will, in fact, pull the plug on this project if Russia invades Ukraine? And did you discuss what the definition of invasion could be? And then Chancellor Scholz, wenn ich Sie fragen darf.
If I may ask you, Chancellor Scholz, you said there was some strategic ambiguity that was needed in terms of sanctions. I just wanted to know whether the sanctions you are envisaging and the EU is working on, and the US as well, are already finished, finalized, or is there still work ongoing? And you're not really saying what the details are. Is that just an excuse for Germany maybe to not support the SWIFT measures?
The first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control?
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Thank you very much for your question. I want to be absolutely clear. We have intensively prepared everything to be ready with the necessary sanctions if there is a military aggression against Ukraine. And this is necessary. It is necessary that we do this in advance so that Russia can clearly understand that these are far-reaching, severe measures. It is part of this process that we do not spell out everything in public, because Russia could understand that there might be even more to come. And at the same time, it is very clear we are well prepared with far-reaching measures. We will take these measures together with our allies, with our partners, with the US, and we will take all necessary steps. You can be sure that there won't be any measures in which we have a differing approach. We will act together, jointly.
Say to our American friends, we will be united. We will act together, and we will take all the necessary steps, and all the necessary steps will be done by all of us together.
No, this guy speaks English.
Day to turning off and pulling the plug on Nord Stream 2. You didn't mention it. You haven't mentioned it.
As I already said, we are acting together. We are absolutely united, and we will not taking different steps. We will do the same steps, and they will be very, very hard to Russia, and they should understand.
You recognize someone now, Chancellor?
Herr Fischer.
What's up, status quo? Thank you so much, I'm Witchenbag, for gifting a sub. I appreciate you.
Michael Fischer, DPA, vielen Dank.
Michael Fischer, DPA. Mr. President, one question to you. The US, over the last few years, have exported heavy weapons to Ukraine, and Germany excludes that, has only delivered 5,000 helmets to Ukraine. Don't you think that NATO should act unanimously in this respect, and Germany, as the strongest European NATO partner, should also deliver heavy weapons to Ukraine? And Ukraine has asked Germany to do so. And on Nord Stream 2, I would also like to ask, don't you think with regard to the threat posed by Russia, Germany should already rethink its position on Nord Stream 2? And the third question, if I may, over the last few days and weeks, there has been severe criticism from the US media and from Congress as well, vis-a-vis Germany, about the reliability of Germany as an ally. This has been called into question. Do you understand this criticism? Is Germany a reliable partner from your point of view? And Mr. Chancellor, also a question to you, Nord Stream 2. You said all options are on the table. You're not mentioning Nord Stream 2 by name. Don't you think if you were to spell this out, you could win back trust as a strong ally here for the US?
There's no need to win back trust. He has the complete trust of the United States. Germany is one of our most important allies in the world. There is no doubt about Germany's partnership with the United States, none. With regard to helping Ukraine, one of the largest contributors financially to Ukraine has been Germany. Germany has been in the forefront of making sure of providing economic assistance. You also asked the question, you asked so many, I can't remember them all, but in terms of the U.S. media saying Germany is not reliable, Germany's completely reliable, completely, totally, thoroughly reliable. I have no doubt about Germany at all.
Come on, man. Wir sind eng verbunden.
We are united, and the transatlantic partnership between Germany and the US is one of the permanent pillars of German policy, and it will be relevant in the future as well, just as relevant. And this will be one of our top priorities always. On behalf of NATO, we are the country in continental Europe that is doing making the largest contribution, financial means, and also military power. And we are the country that contributes a great share. We don't fully agree with the US, who pays the biggest part of financial support to Ukraine. Since 2014, about $2 billion direct bilateral support, and within the EU, an additional 3.8 billion that is made available, so substantial financial means to stabilize the Ukrainian economy, and we are willing to continue with that sort of contribution. So this is the very strong and unbreakable friendship between our two countries. Part of this is that with regard to the difficult situation at the Ukrainian border due to the Russian troops, we have made it very clear we will unanimously act in terms of sanctions. Mr. President, once again, a question with regard to arms exports. Do you think it is okay that NATO partners have different approaches here? And on Nord Stream 2, once again, do you think the current positioning of Germany with regard to the Russian threat is okay?
Look, there is no doubt in America's mind that Germany is an incredibly reliable ally and one of the leading physical powers in NATO, number one. Number two, the notion that Nord Stream 2 would go forward with an invasion by the Russians is just not going to happen. Now, Wall Street Journal, Sabrina?
Thank you, Mr. President. Based on everything you know now, do you think that President Putin will authorize an invasion of Ukraine before the end of the winter? And what is your message to the roughly 30,000 Americans who are currently in Ukraine? Do you think that they should leave the country?
Well, I've had discussions, numerous discussions with the Russians, and particularly with Putin. I don't know that he's even made it. I don't know that he knows what he's going to do. And I think he has to realize that it would be a gigantic mistake for him to move on Ukraine. The impact on Europe and the rest of the world would be devastating, and he would pay a heavy price. I have been very, very straightforward and blunt with President Putin, both on the phone and in person. We will impose the most severe sanctions that have ever been imposed, economic sanctions. And there will be a lot to pay for that down the road. it will affect others as well. It will affect us somewhat, it'll affect Europeans, but it will have profound impact on his economy. And but I don't know. I know that he's in a position now to be able to invade, almost assuming that the ground is frozen above Kyiv. He has the capacity to do that. What he's going to do, I don't know. And I don't think anybody knows but him.
To the Americans who are currently in Ukraine, should they leave the country?
I think it'd be wise to leave the country. I'm not talking about our diplomatic corps. I'm talking about Americans who are there. I hate to see them get caught in a crossfire if, in fact, they did invade. And there's no need for that. And if I were they, if I had anyone there, I'd say leave.
And to Chancellor Scholz, can you outline specific steps that Germany is taking to reduce its energy dependence on Russia? And what do you say to those who suggest that German reliance on Russian gas is limiting Europe's options for how to respond to the crisis in Ukraine?
Schönen Dank für die Frage.
Thank you very much for raising that question, because it gives me the opportunity to address a topic that's important to me. One good news, maybe, within its strategy on fighting man-made climate change, Germany has decided in a very short period of time to phase out of the use of oil and gas by very soon. And by 2045, Germany will have a carbon neutral economy as one of the strongest economies of the world. And with regard to these energies, we often think about heating at home and driving a car, but we're talking about industrial production, producing steel, chemical substances, cement, and changing these industrial processes and reorganizing such systems is what we have planned. So this year we will continue to take far-reaching decisions that will help us to use more wind energy, offshore wind energy, onshore wind energy, and solar energy, and expand the capacities, expand the grids, and have a strategy for Germany, but also worldwide, on the use of hydrogen, which is a central element for us to change our industrial processes that are using oil and gas right now. The industry is willing to be on board. We're doing this together with them, but it will probably be the biggest industrial modernization project in Germany in 100 years, with very good prospects that we will develop new technologies that other partners in the world can use as well. And this will help us fight climate change. And by the way, the energy mix today, we are talking about 1/4 of our energy that is linked to gas, and only part of that gas comes from Russia. A big part comes from Norway or the Netherlands. And of course, it is very important to us that we develop an infrastructure that will give us the opportunity to have all options available and react if needed. So you don't have to be concerned. There are some who should be concerned, who see themselves maybe too much as a deliverer of such resources. Because we are focusing on renewable energies, we will go down that path and make sure that this is the profitable future.
Also, Herr Rinke.
Mr. Rinken.
Herr Präsident,
Mr. President, I would like to ask you a question about LNG. Germany and Europe are much more dependent on Russian gas than other regions of the world. And you promised European allies to help with LNG, but this resource is more expensive. It's not available in the volumes that might be needed to replace Russian gas. And I would like to know from you how you would help Europeans in case of a conflict with Russia. Is this an empty promise, or what can you really do? What can you offer? And in addition, the US are buying oil from Russia worth billions of dollars, and I would like to know whether these transfers are also part of the sanctions package against Russia. And Mr. Chancellor, liquefied natural gas, there is a big controversy in Germany about fracking gas. And how far is LNG even a real replacement, or is it also with a view to the climate club you intend to found? Is it really an alternative to Russian pipeline gas?
Let me respond. First of all, we are looking at opportunities to make up for lost gas, LNG, from Russia. We're underway of trying to see what we can do to do that, dealing with our friends around the world as well. We think we could make up a significant portion of it that would be lost. But you know, what everybody forgets here is Russia needs to be able to sell that gas and sell that oil. Russia relies, a significant part of Russia's budget, it's the only thing they really have to export. And if in fact it's cut off, then they're going to be hurt very badly as well. And it's of consequence to them as well. This is not just a one-way street. And so we are looking at what we could do to help compensate for immediate loss of gas in Europe if it occurs. And that's what we've been working on for some time now.
I can confirm that we work closely with the United States of America, and Joe Biden and I are working closely together as well. We are prepared for all kinds of situations, and that's part of what we do when we say we prepare sanctions. That means we need to be able to react at any time, and this is happening. With regard to the use of LNG, I can say that the biggest volume of LNG used across the world is gas, and that is part of the debate. Concerning a long-term perspective, I already outlined what this is about. We will modernize our economy, and where gas is being used, we will switch to hydrogen. This will be a process that will happen faster than many might imagine today, and that will create a bright future for all of us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yes.
Given that there are 100,000
The answer is yes.
The Rage Quitters administration. You hooligans crack me up. All right, everyone. Like I had mentioned before, let me just do this disclaimer just to protect my bow here. I know it sounds ridiculous, but anything to keep us going. It's important we get the truth out there. Anything you see, hear, read on the live is not real or accurate information in any way and shouldn't be taken as such. This is just make-believe from the mind of a hooligan. I appreciate all you guys being with me, especially jumping through all these hoops to fight communism and censorship. That's old man Walter crapping his pants right there on stage. I swear to God, if you listen really close, you can hear him rip one. Pretty sure that's what happened there. I've seen a lot of you mention it, so I think we're all on the same page here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me on the live. I have a couple things I need to take care of, but we will come back and be live again today. We're going to cover more of the truckers. We're going to see if we can find anything going on in Minneapolis, anything going on in Chicago, because there's been recent protests there and stuff. Anything else we can get our hands on. You know, the goal here, trying to get the truth out there as clever as we can. Anyways, big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I could not do this without you, so thank you so much. Jersey Devil, we did the pledge. We did the pledge after the press briefing with Jen Psaki. My apologies if you missed that. But yeah, so I don't think it'll take very long, maybe a couple hours, depends on how smoothly everything goes. Maybe I'll go visit my kitty and take some pictures and stuff and post it in the Discord. So if you're not a part of the Discord, please join the Discord. It is free. it is kind of a pain for some to get into the Discord. If you have any issues, please send me an email. I'll do my best to try and walk you through it to get you into the Discord. It is the spot to be. 3,800 hooligans in there now. We have a news board with constant articles pouring in from different hooligans. Who Through works very hard on keeping us up to date, constantly posting articles in there. So definitely go check that out. And it is the best way to be notified for when and where we go live. Don't waste your time waiting on notifications from YouTube and all that crap. You can get it directly from us over on Discord, so definitely join the Discord. Also, everyone asking about the shirt that I'm wearing right now, it is back up on the merch store. So if you would like to check out the Bars and Stars merch, or you want a JeffMAC shirt, or you want to check out some of the Hooligan shirts that we got, definitely go check out the merch store. The link is on the link tree. It's also in the description. Go click the link tree. Follow me on everything. It's the best way to stay in contact. So if we lose the Discord, which God forbid that happens, you'll still have me on Twitter to let you know that we lost it. If you follow me on Twitter and I get a strike on YouTube, you'll know that I got a strike, and so on and so forth. So please follow me on everything on the link tree. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you on the next live, and until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.